We finally. Oh, am I unmuted? Testing 1 2. Okay, there we are. Whew. That was close, chat. Almost a disaster. Almost started off with an unmute, but we finally sat down. We finally made it. If we had waited any later, chat, we were going to start wandering into nightcap territory with the show. But we're finally here. We're sitting down, and it's actually maybe a good thing that we're a little late, chat, because I guess you can't see the score of this Knicks Cavs game, but man, oh man, it's not good. 115-79, and we still got a whole quarter to go. Oh boy, but luckily the Spurs are playing. Unluckily start as well too. First quarter's about to be over here as well, and it is an 11-point game. We're playing the Pistons at home, and of course, chat, unfortunately, not only do we have to start the pod off with some sad news, the Spurs, have to start the second half of the basketball season off with some sad news as well too, chat. Good news, of course, Sam is here tonight. Joining us, but Wemby is out. What's going on, Sam? It's been a minute. Your first appearance post Super Bowl. How you doing?
I haven't. Despite the
Have you been hiding?
detractors and haters saying I've been hiding out. First the Super Bowl, and now Drake dropping a dumpster bag of an album. It was for legitimate reasons. Moving. Life, just a lot going on. So busy. But, I know you're saying it's bad news. Of course it's bad news. No one wants anyone to get hurt. But, what if you kind of look at the upside here? I don't know if you saw what I sent you in the Instagram post. But what if this is a David Robinson, Timmy D situation where Wemby gets hurt, you guys tank, you guys have 2 lottery picks, and you somehow get Cooper Flagg to come to the team. Now, Cooper Flagg, great player, love him. Is he like a ball handler number one? Like, could you kind of convince a team to maybe trade down for that spot? I don't know. I know you look at a million trade stuff, but either way, you guys have 2 lottery picks. You got, maybe you could tank. I mean, what is your team really without Wemby? It's built for Wemby. Like, De'Aaron Fox is going to keep the team interesting, but, the Kings were having a rough time as is. So I don't know. You tell me, Rem, is there any hope to capture the flag for the Spurs this next season if they really tank?
I'm not going to lie. Cooper Flagg seems like he might be a little bit of a reach at this point. Now, tanking in general, the thing is the Spurs were kind of already starting to slide backwards anyways, even with Wemby and even with trying to compete in the playoffs. Like, you can kind of see the Western Conference playoff race kind of start to shape up, and we were already kind of starting to slip away here. We had 4 and 6 in the last 10 games, so you can kind of see that they were a middling team. Phoenix at the 12 seed, or at the 12th pick, is the Western Conference team above them right now at 26 and 29 if they have some fall apart potential. But other than that, you start going to the Golden State, Minnesota, Dallas. So, the Western Conference really starts to obviously look pretty strong. So they might have been in a position where they would have obviously been looking more at the top of the draft anyways than toward the playoffs, which, say what you will about that with the Wemby Fox combination. But obviously it seems like that's what we're going to be going with anyways. And if we're at 10 right now, so we've got Portland, Chicago, and then it goes Brooklyn as the next 3 picks. Portland at 23 wins, 22 and 20. And then it kind of gets into that top 5 is starting to really separate as well too. Washington, New Orleans, Utah, Charlotte, and Toronto. And they're not necessarily winning tonight, but they didn't look too bad the other night as well too. They did get a win against Phoenix. Like we're saying, talk about fall apart potential. Phoenix losing to the Spurs without Wemby is probably not a good sign. But I don't know, Cooper Flagg is... Are they even going to be able to trade him the top 3? People are saying, are the Spurs going to get Cooper Flagg? But Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, are anybody even going to give up any of those spots?
Would they be it depends. The lottery odds are so flat that you guys could sneak into the top 3 position.
So us just getting up there and
throw that in. Pause. Yeah, but say you throw that in with another lottery pick or something, you go all in. Maybe even throw in, knock on with Devin Vassell or something, and you get snagged.
Now you're thinking about trades that I'm not thinking of. You're trading the players.
You know,
Oh.
I'm just saying you got to do whatever it takes to get Cooper Flag because he is that guy. And when I tell you he's that guy, I'm telling you, I'm right now watching Duke basketball. This is the
Oh
first
yeah.
time in like I don't even know when where you love a team, college basketball teams, 12 best players. I mean, it's not just Flag on that team. It's Malach, it's Knuppel, it's
Knuckle, yeah.
there's Proctor. It's I mean the team's got dogs everywhere. They got some bench unit help and you know their team low key has like been playing a Mickey Mouse schedule. Like it's been a really easy schedule, but you know, I'm just saying, you just look at that how Cooper Flag is on a good team with other superstars with another great big man on his team in Malach. He's doing the pick and roll. He's doing this stuff. I'm telling you, if I'm the Spurs, I'm doing whatever it takes to get this guy on the team. You pair him with Stephon Castle, you know, great point guard. You know, look really good in the Rising Stars game. You know, All Star game was an
Castle we
absolute
can't
bomb.
trade
I
it,
mean, you know,
obviously.
gee. Yeah, you can't trade Stephon Castle. You can't trade Wemby, but you know, maybe you get rid of what's his name? Oh my gosh, why was his name losing my
Sohan?
mind?
I didn't
Sohan.
say that.
Put him on the block. Put him on the block.
That
Are you
wasn't
gonna
me.
hit him? You know, is Cooper Flag just a way better Sohan who can actually shoot? I don't
Whoa.
know.
Flex. Sohan 2.0? Is
All
that the
right now,
first
I
time
mean,
somebody's made that
honestly,
comp? That's
like
a good comp.
who has better who if you had Sohan against Cooper Flag right now 1v1, who's the better player? Like just straight up.
Well, no,
Forget
I
even
mean, I think Flag is, yeah, a little more developed offensive game, for sure. Could
he's just
Sohan be a
better.
better
So you got to do whatever
defender,
it
maybe?
takes.
Sohan better fouling?
That was crazy. That's crazy. What did you think of the All-Star? Did you give a statement on that? Chris Paul and Wemby cheating?
Yeah, I mean, I think they probably didn't think they were going to get booed. They probably thought it was going to be a little bit more well received. And Chris Paul was arguing with the rule guy, like he was like actually asking people about that and like, hey, is this even
Yeah.
something that we can do? But I mean, my take is like if there's just a world where you can win the skills competition by not being a skilled like attempt, then maybe you just need to look at that. And obviously the whole point of All-Star Weekend is just broken at this point. But like the skills challenge in general, it's just a bad competition. There's just really nothing that happens in that. And again, I said when it happened, the Spurs cheated, you know. It is what it is.
I don't understand why they didn't just quick shoot it. You know, like no scope it,
Yeah,
like
like
just
Wemby
like
was kind
pretend
of
like
close.
yeah, Wemby was close.
He
It
was
was Chris
firing at the
Paul that made
rim.
it. When
I
Chris
agree.
Paul did it, it was like this is cheating. But at least like take it, look at the rim and pretend to shoot it. Like, you know.
And I think Chris Paul being maybe a veteran of the league as well too, maybe the league officials were like, you know, what are you doing, influencing the next
Hey,
generation the
Wemby said
wrong
it was
way.
his idea.
Wemby said it was
Pushing
his
him
idea?
Yeah, that's what they said later. Wemby claimed it was his idea.
Oh man. See, and then people were giving him props in the next night for, you know, the competitive nature on that last play, like getting upset that the
That's
guy
true.
got the back cut on him. It's like, well, Wemby, that's just the karma of competitive nature that, you
He's
know,
the only one who actually tried in that game. He's
yeah,
actually
he
the
better
only
have,
one who
you know, he
cared.
didn't try it on the skills challenge. But the
He
skills
did. That's the problem. He was trying too hard. He cheated.
he tried too hard.
He
Yeah,
tried too
possibly.
hard. That's the real strat. That's
But
the
you're
real
right. If
strat.
Chris Paul maybe had attempted some better shots and they were just like, well, what do you do? I mean, you know, they hit the rim or what? Like, if he misses all three, what's the difference, you know? So,
Yeah.
but that's the problem is like a guy just goes up there and kind of shoots three jump shots and then it doesn't really affect the skills thing. Like, honestly, the
Yeah.
biggest thing that'll mess you up is if you go in for that pass full speed and then you run
Mhm.
past it, but you miss the pass.
Yeah.
And then you have to go back and redo the pass. Like Draymond
I
messed up with that.
I always thought they had to make the shot. That's what I thought.
Well,
I thought
they
it
used
was
to.
whoever. Yeah, that's what I thought. So when I saw them, I was like, "What? Like you don't have to make that shot?"
To be honest,
You know what
like
I'm
if you
saying?
go back and look at some of the stuff, remember they used to do like the shooting stars challenge where you would do
Yeah.
like the jump shot from like the 4 different locations and then round out with the half
Isn't
court.
that just a 3-point contest?
Kind of. They need to bring the half court shot into the skills challenge. I think
Maybe.
that's exciting. I don't know what else you do.
Yeah,
around it,
I
but-
remember the skills. Yeah, I remember when they did the half court one, and then they all had to try it, and they were waiting till someone made it. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
let them go out there and. To be honest, because I think they take too long.
Yeah,
to make
fix the
half-court
All
shot.
Star weekend. Fix the All-Star weekend. I have inside information.
Whoa, whoa,
Sources are saying inside.
whoa.
First of all, I don't know if you watched the celebrity game, but I had an inside person saying that it was below 50% for most of the game, and like maybe the last quarter was barely over 60% in terms of capacity. I'm telling you, there was like no marketing in here. I could, as a resident, Bay Area resident, there was almost little to
Mm,
no marketing for the All-Star game.
wow.
It was put in like horrible areas. Like it wasn't put in horrible areas, but the signs were like really hard to see. And then the main events were in the city, and people were like could barely pay for the parking. They like broke the gate, like they were holding up the gate so they wouldn't have to pay for the parking for the All-Star game.
Trying to
I'm
save a
telling you,
buck.
it was ridiculous. Like for some of the events, it was so low attended. They had people from the high stands, like they were trying to tell them to come down so they can make it look fuller on live TV. And, of course, Curry won the 3-point contest, but like, it's one thing
MVP,
when
yeah.
the players don't care, but now we're seeing the ripple effects of the fans not caring. And I'll
Mm.
tell you, this was like one of the most disappointing events I've seen for NBA history. Like, it's got to be up there. Like, it was just so disappointing. And like, shout out to Mac McClung for winning 3 in a row. But how is like a non-NBA player winning the dunk contest? Like, that's my question. Like, this guy just hasn't played a minute in the league, and he's out here destroying these guys. Like, I don't know. It's just really sad. The whole event was really sad, and I low key, I wish Damian Lillard had a bigger night. He's from Oakland and all that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it was tough. I was really sad by it. Even the rising stars now don't care anymore.
Yeah, and that's interesting too because if you think about like what Summer League is a great basketball event. I guess it's a good it is a great basketball event, but it's obviously not full
Yeah.
NBA basketball, but it's a really good basketball event. But it's a really
Hmm.
they say it's a really awesome fan event. Everybody still is talking about, and you still hear as Summer Leagues go on, like people talking about
Yeah.
and people reporting from about how good of an experience it is just to be there and attend and connect with everybody and and it's a different thing as well too because it's a constant like games all day and that's just like a fun thing and you have maybe again not the peak of NBA players but there's still a really good selection of the NBA talent and the young faces that you want to see and just there's still going to be names and storylines that you're interested in there. So it's not like fans can't be entertained and be a
Yeah.
part of making an exhibition event like really good. So it is interesting now that you're saying that it's starting to fall off from a fan perspective because like honestly like why would you go? You'd have to be really invested in the NBA to just be like I am. You know what? That would actually maybe that hurts it as well too. We're like what's the accessibility like if you want to go from the celebrity game to the Rising Stars event? Do you have to pick one? Is it like your night going to be the celebrity game or the Rising Stars event? And then like either one by itself is kind of like meh. So maybe they needed to do a better job of packaging the events together. Obviously Saturday night
Mm.
is together, but yeah, if the fans are now
It's tough.
starting to cuz like why would you go if it's going to be a mid event,
Why? And like the celebrity game was supposed to have like maybe Baron Davis, like it was meant to have some maybe celebrities that didn't even show up. And it was literally like just Drewski. And I remember back in the day, like you'd actually care about the celebrity game, like who's gonna be there and stuff. And like no one anyone actually knew was there, and
Mhm.
it was just a really sad event in total.
They did
And
have was
you know,
Kai Cenat there too? They had a couple of streamers there and stuff.
nah, I think maybe. And then they had Mr. Beast like during the All Star
The
and stuff, and
All-Star
that's where it was like
Sunday was
really
a
so.
disaster.
Yeah, and then they're like criticizing the game while they're like announcing it and stuff, and like it's just everyone who just wants to get put out of their misery. It was sad, but it really makes it sad when you see how much everyone was so locked into the sports event that people actually cared about, and that was the Four Nations hockey
Did you
tournament.
watch that?
3 fights in 9 seconds. I didn't see it live, any of them, but I did see a little bit of Canada USA. I watched the highlights again today, and I've been kind of feeling like ahead of the curve because I've been playing. I bought like NHL 24 a while ago, so I'm still
Oh
grinding that
man,
game.
look
So I'm
at
playing a
you. You're
little
always ahead of the
hockey.
curve.
EA, yeah, I it was great. I might get 26 if it got Four Nations this game mode
Oh,
on it
Four
because
Nations mode? I mean, they got
play
to
for
throw it in.
America. God bless
We got to get our revenge. They got to put it in the
But
game.
yeah, I don't know. I did love Justin Trudeau's tweet though. Like, you can't take our country or our game. So,
Mm.
that was pretty classy by him. But and so that's the question, is that like, how does the NBA get people to care? And like, USA or NHL may not have meant to do it, but like, having this game and, obviously ties to the political stuff going on. And so that's why it makes people really care. And that's what happened the last time when people cared about hockey with the Miracle on Ice. People like really, really cared. And that's because it was against USSR and it was during the Cold War. And, we won that
Mm.
and it was just huge. And
Oof.
so it's just a question of like so hockey knows what to do. They have to somehow politically get it in, and like football kind of knows how to do it. Like people like just like the hard hits, kind of like the structure of the game, stuff like that. So the NBA, when it's most popular, is when it has when it has dominating superstars with dynasties, and when those superstars are in every single thing possible. And we just had the Warriors and Cavs, and that's long been over. And we don't really know the superstar, and the number one player in the league acts like he doesn't care about the NBA. So why should we?
Mm.
And then you have Giannis, and he's trying really hard, but like is he really a superstar? Like, he hasn't won a championship in a while. And then we got Luka Doncic, but then he was supposed to really gain some traction, and then he got traded to the Lakers. So now he's like kind of LeBron's shadow, and LeBron's old. So there's no really like clear cut dominating player that's in everything that actually cares about everything besides Wemby. So Wemby is kind of the only
Mm.
hope for the league. I know this seems like pandering to the Spurs fan here, but I mean, is Wemby or Cooper Flag? I think Wemby versus Cooper Flag, or Wemby with Cooper Flag, could be what saves the league.
Yeah, and it's
We're
not
looping it all back in.
it's not even necessarily. I mean, obviously it is that because Wemby is like such a captivating guy, but at the end of the day, it's like the guys just have to find, or the league, I guess, maybe has to find a way, but the players themselves just have to find a way to take pride in the All Star game, because it's just a general mindset of the NBA guys throughout the entire league. Like, it's not that they don't care about the All-Star game. If there's a regular season game that they don't have to play, there is now a larger percentage of the guys that are willing to take that game off. Like we know the load
Well,
management and the rest stuff is, it's just
even LeBron, he said he was hurt the day of. Like, he didn't even give another All Star chance.
even LeBron, but he is out there, I think, playing a lot this regular season as well too. So at 40, he might be like the one guy that's like, okay, like maybe you get the All-Star game off. But uh if there is a moment where it seems like these guys don't have to, and you're right too as well too, like LeBron is looking at that moment going, I don't have to play, I don't have to take pride in this moment, and sitting it out. And if they're it's just kind of like a meet the minimum requirements in the regular season and throughout. And to be honest, like, do you see guys taking pride in the playoffs the way maybe they used to back in the day? Is that a maybe?
Yeah,
Is the
I
league
do. I do. And I think that's why people
okay?
only
Good.
care about the playoffs. I mean, you see like Anthony Edwards giving it to the Suns. You kind of see how Jimmy Butler in his run 2 years ago. Like, I
Butler
do
cares.
think
You're
the
right.
play-in definitely has helped the league, but there's a reason why the trades have been more popular than the regular season. Like, everyone was talking about Luka Doncic. How many people were really talking about the Hornets beating the Lakers? With Luka Doncic. Like, and I have real concerns about the Lakers after that loss with LaMelo Ball. Again, I don't know why LaMelo Ball couldn't be an All Star. People are hating, but
Put him in.
there's some real concerns with having Luka on that team. But no one cares about that game where the Hornets beat him. They just care that he got traded there. And so it's just interesting to see how the trades are always more popular than the players. But that's because it revolves around the best players in the league, and causes chatter and stuff like that. And so that's why we just need pretty much another dynasty in the league. And everyone was complaining about the Warriors. Oh, they're bad for the league, blah, blah. No, it made it great for the league because it made you give you something to care about. And right now, it's tough to care about SGA and OKC.
So you think that maybe the league could push Flag to the Spurs to create this dynasty in a way like this could actually be
Julius
beneficial
Irving,
for the league?
frozen envelope,
Yeah,
frozen envelope type. I
yeah.
don't know, man.
I wouldn't mind it. Put a
They
couple
got
of
to do
ice cubes on it.
something.
I think it might be
They
a good
need to do
idea, but you
something.
think
They
it would
need to do
actually be a
something
good
because
idea
they're
maybe
heading in the
for
wrong
the league
direction.
to create it, manufacture a dynasty if the league's already writing the scripts. If they manufactured another flag Wemby dynasty, you would look at it and go, "Oh, it's overpowering. They'd win every year." Obviously, they wouldn't. We know that something would happen, but
Yeah.
you think that that would actually be good for the league to have that? Because I actually kind of agree
Put
with
Flag on a good team. That's the point.
I
Just
agree
put him
with
on a
you in a
good team.
way.
Get him to the Jazz.
Like going back to the Wemby thing as well too. Like, is that the one hope that they could actually trade up for him? Is maybe a team like Washington just goes, okay, we're so far behind that if we even get Flag in here, like, are we, are they just going, can we
Yeah.
even handle Cooper Flag? Is Cooper Flag like too hot
Yeah.
for the Wizards? Is he like out of their league? Is that like the one hope?
Yeah.
Cooper
Don't
Flag
get
might
him
be
to the Wizards.
out of these,
I'll be so sad.
out of the Wizards league. Yeah, come on, what are we doing? Anybody in Washington right now is depressing. So we're gonna put Cooper Flag there. That would be.
What if he goes to the Hornets? Team up with LaMelo?
The Hornets would be
Mark
fun. Where are they
Williams?
sitting at right now? 4, so they could jump up. That would be fun. And honestly,
You
Toronto
know?
could be fun as well too. Him and Scotty Barnes face the league.
No. Masai Ujiri doesn't know how to build a team, man.
Yeah,
The Raptors
you don't like the
are
teams
so
that he's
bad.
built.
No, he's paying bums. Like, how much money do they have tied up in their team? He's paying Emmanuel quickly like he's a star.
Oh, 30 mil. Come on, 30 mil.
30 mil? That's for Emmanuel quickly?
In Canada, what's that in US dollars?
Oh gosh, that's not Canadian dollars. It's USD. Boy, what's his face saying?
Can we do the
But
inflation rate?
yeah, I don't know. But giving my quick thoughts on the Super Bowl. Yeah, I guess this is my first public statement
Yeah, you got to release
since
a
the
statement.
game. Look, I'll say once I knew it was over, and I was pretty vocal in the moment that I knew it was over like halfway through the second quarter when Mahomes was getting rushed and he just had to run out of the pocket and had no time to live. And shout out to Cooper DeJean. I hate that it was against us, but shout out to Iowa Hawkeye. It's crazy that go Hawks. We have more touchdowns than any Alabama wide receiver. So, take that. Yeah, they're at 0. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wait, Smith didn't score in this game?
No. Alabama's wide receivers have not ever scored in the Super Bowl.
Wow, still.
So, yeah, it's crazy. I'm surprised Julio Jones didn't get one in that one Super Bowl, but
I know.
whatever. Yeah, I'm like, what?
Because they didn't score a lot in that Super Bowl. Like, they were up 28-3, so they were
I
scoring.
don't know. Wow, shout out the Wizards. It's a 4-point game against Milwaukee with 2 minutes left. At home. But looking at the Chiefs, I do gotta say, like, it was pretty clearly our O-line. And, CJ Gardner-Johnson said it, if they had played on grass, that D-line would have actually gotten the Chiefs. And we did barely beat them last time, and they came out here and stomped us. And, I think the offense, actually, I think our defense played well enough. It was just that our Mahomes was, because of the pressure that he got, he gave one too many interceptions and too many chances. I mean, they had a 21-point quarter. Like, there's nothing we could do. We actually won the second half. We won 3 out of 4 quarters. Actually, let me see if we won that. I don't think we won that first quarter, but we won the second half. And so if we, kind of trudge through that first quarter, it's 17 points second half. So, yeah, I think if it wasn't for one of those 2 picks in the end zone, near the end zone, especially, it's not just that he had the interceptions, but it was where it was. It was on our side of the field, and it just made it impossible to come back. But I think even if maybe those interceptions were the other side of the field, if we tackle Cooper DeJean, sooner, I think it was a lot closer game than people give it credit. It's just that, like, the score made it look bad, and we did get beat up, and Mahomes just didn't have a chance to live. But if we have 1 instead of 2 picks, even if it is a pick 6, and Mahomes and the coaches actually switch around the right players, give Mahomes a little more time to move. I think this game turned out better than the Bucks one. The Bucks one it was bad wire to wire, but this one we actually had a little hope. Shout out to Xavier Worthy. I'm really excited. And in terms of the rest of the team, I'm fine with the rest of the team. We'll see if Chris Jones sticks around. We just got to get healthy on the O line, figure out the O line. And yeah, but next year we're gonna have Hardman, we're gonna have Rasheed Rice, we're gonna have Xavier Worthy. Like that's a great three. Juju, maybe Hopkins might come back. Get rid of Kelsey, say goodbye. Those three guys should
No.
be more enough. Also,
What?
2 point game with Bucks.
What's Kelsey's contract situation? Do we know? Is he
I don't know, but we're giving him until March to figure it out.
free agent? Is he tradable, guys? So if he's not a guy that would retire, are you saying you'd want to trade him?
Oh my gosh, Chris Middleton, I forgot was man, it's the
Oh,
return of
revenge
Chris
game.
Middleton. Yeah, him, Kuzma's yeah, well, revenge game for Chris.
And he took that
Um,
personally.
yeah, he's ripping Lopez on the ground. You should turn the game on, man. It's hot. You were saying what were you saying?
So if Kelsey doesn't retire, are you saying you'd want to trade Travis Kelsey?
Yeah, get him out of there. Get him out of there.
Oh,
He looks so washed. He's so cooked. He did nothing this whole postseason. Again, thank you, Kelsey. You gave us many memories. You gave us many Super Bowls, many more than I could ever dream. Time to go in the sunset with your girlfriend. All right, you hit the jackpot. You got Taylor Swift. Like, there's not many more things, many more milestones a
leave
white man
some
can
for the
do. All
rest
right,
of us.
so exactly. So you're good. You don't need to keep running it up. Retire. Go on the podcast with your brother. He's already retired. Y'all can do podcasting all day. But Noah Gray was, I mean, he's more than a serviceable tight end. We also have Jordy Watson, who was in the past Super Bowls. And yeah, I think we have more than enough wide receivers, and we'll figure it out as long as they stay healthy. Xavier Worthy and Rasheed Rice, that's more than enough.
Yeah, so the Kelsey contract number here, it does look like he's got 1 year left. So you don't want to Kelsey expiring contract, just one more season, see how it goes.
Nah,
Just
nah.
have him around, as a veteran guy. Coach
Boy,
Kelsey,
are we gonna
Udonis
what's his
Haslam role.
face? Yeah, that's what I say. Udonis Haslam it. No, because he's gonna think he's good, and then it's like so annoying to deal with him.
He's gonna have a couple of put me in coach moments. He does, unfortunately for Kelsey. So this past season, he was playing with a dead cap hit of $22
Oh
million.
my gosh, it's Scott
So
Foster. But yeah,
obviously,
crazy.
if they cut him, he would have been cut. He would have been worth $22 million on the roster. This year, he's gonna be playing with a dead cap number of $2 million. So, if Sam goes and runs the Chiefs at some point between now and the next couple of months, Kelsey on a $2 million cap hit. See you later.
Bye.
It's
Bye.
just what it is.
Would you keep Kelsey?
I mean, for one more season, yeah, I'd keep Kelsey. I think he's earned it. I guess I wouldn't be as cold-hearted as you. I guess, I thought
I'm
maybe
Bill
I thought
Belichick,
maybe I was.
man.
I kinda
Get rid
liked
of
the
him
Davis
1 year
documentary.
too early. I mean, I have his jersey, but it was a
Sam's like
yikes.
wearing his jersey as he calls Kelsey, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, by the way, we couldn't find a trade, so have fun on the podcast."
Wow, Chris Middleton hitting a shot to make it a 1 point game against the Bucks after having his sleeve ripped off, but it being not called a foul.
Wait, how much time is left on
55
that one?
seconds. I think Giannis fouled out of the game.
Oh, Giannis. What
They haven't had a shot. They haven't had a field goal in the last 6 minutes.
Whoa.
About this game, one on the road. Can the Wizards get a win?
No Lillard tonight.
Oh, Lopez got to go to the line. Oh, I thought Lillard was in. I don't know, maybe not.
But the Kuzma Middleton revenge games. As they play each other. with their
Middleton's
respective
playing on
teams.
fire.
Yeah, what's Middleton's box score here? Okay, I flipped it on. You talked me into it. It's almost over. 38 seconds left. We don't have to watch the Wizards for too much longer. Oh, Sarr's got 22.
Oh, jeez.
The Alex Sarr emergence game. Welcome to the NBA, Alex Sarr. Versus Giannis, a little 22 and 7.
It's always near the end of the season when the young players start playing really well. And you're like, oh, the end of the season, he had 10 of his 15 games. He scored 13 or more points.
I mean, hey, you'd hope he'd get better throughout the course of the season as the number 2 overall pick. But
I think Giannis fouled out. I don't know. He's only played 19 minutes. Maybe Giannis got hurt.
Giannis has 6 fouls.
Oh wow, he fouled out in 19
Giannis has
minutes.
6 fouls. He was
Six
cooking.
fouls in 19 minutes is crazy. That's
Wait, is his
What?
lady? Isn't his lady pregnant right now?
Oh Lord, that's a foul every 3 minutes. Am I doing math right?
Because Giannis did have 18 points as well. He had 18 points in 19 minutes, but he also had 6 fouls. So Giannis is a little aggressive tonight.
Freak. He's freaking. That's a foul every 3 minutes. Am I lying? Yeah.
Giannis is just going
Oh
down,
my gosh.
putting up a bucket on one end and just hacking a offensive player on the other end.
Oh gosh. Well,
Giannis,
we'll have
settle
to
down,
see.
brother.
It's 3-point game, 39 seconds.
Keyshawn George. Giving us a little Keyshawn George. Maybe they drop a play for him here. But if you do want to trade Kelsey, does his value go up a little bit because you get Taylor Swift in the trade? She'll
No.
be in the booth for the team.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
It's like, hey, think of all the Swiftie revenue that you're gonna get if you bring in Travis Kelsey.
Nah.
Like if you're another team, you got to trade for him. You got to sign Kelsey if he goes to waivers.
Maybe.
Kelsey in revenge mode, trying to hold on for one last year. Do you think Kelsey would play anywhere else besides Kansas City at this point?
He might have to. I could definitely see it. I mean, everyone has, the weird season. Jordan on the Wizards.
I know. I could definitely see him have
Shaq
just
on
like
the Suns, Celtics.
a random Seahawks season.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Kelsey's in Seattle.
Yeah, was it not Kuechly, Greg Olson? Didn't he have some weird season?
Yeah, true. He had a Seattle run in there.
Yeah. What's his face? Jimmy Graham too. He was felt like he was all over the league.
True.
Wow,
Seattle.
Lopez gets the block. 3-point game. 20 seconds left. Can the Bucks hold it out to win? Give it to Lopez. Gets it to Dame. I think. Is that Dame?
Is that Rollins?
Dame. Maybe.
Ryan Rollins?
Oh, Bub. Is that Bub? I don't think that's Bub. That's Keyshawn George. Gets the rebound. 5 seconds. Oh, he thought he had to heave it. Thank God the coach called a timeout. All right, 5 seconds left. 3-point game. The Wizards have a timeout. Will they do what they always do and lose?
Now you love having Chris Middleton in this situation. Let's see. Wait, they were at 9 wins, so they can afford to win this game.
Oh my
almost.
gosh. What are we doing? The Grizzlies and Magic are tied. 45 seconds. I got to get more than one screen up.
Oh man, I don't have enough screens to keep up. IT, bring in another TV.
What are we doing? I knew that game was close, but I was like, eh.
Yeah,
like
Washington's 9 and 45. New Orleans is 13 and 42. So Washington can win this game here and be totally fine. And I guess they only need to be in the top 3 anyways to get the number 1 overall.
And the odds are so flattened, it almost doesn't matter these days, It literally doesn't make sense to tank. I really want to see, when was the last time the number 1 team got it? Because the Detroit Pistons were number 1 the last 3 years, and then they never won it. They didn't win it.
But now Detroit's actually kind of decent.
Yeah.
They did get the number 1 pick with
Cade
Cade.
Cunningham stayed healthy for once.
Cade was number 1 overall.
Yeah.
So you only get number 1 unless you're Cleveland or New Orleans. You only get one number 1 overall pick.
Or the Spurs.
Well, but we get ours, every 20 years or so.
Mm.
It's not like Cleveland was getting, Anthony Bennett, Kyrie Irving, and Wiggins back to back to back.
LeBron
in 03. Bronny. Oh, wait, no. He's on the Lakers.
Not quite a number 1 overall pick, but... Okay, Wizards throw it in. Throw up the 3. Oh, Chris Middleton clanks it, and the game is over. All right. IT's trying to switch it over.
Kuzma takes out Middleton on the last possession. Do the Bucks actually win the trade? I don't know if that was just a cost-cutting move as well, too. I'd have to go look at the salaries and see what happened. But
probably.
Kuzma's been playing decent on the Bucks, honestly.
Yeah.
He's been kind of fun.
I'm not surprised.
I know Middleton obviously has a little bit more of a history as a shot maker, but at this point in their careers, with what Middleton was giving you the offensive, defensive, and, again, Middleton at the peak of
And
his powers
injuries.
Yeah, the injuries as well, too. He was a good defender back in the day as well, but at this point, maybe a little slower there. So it's kind of the same player. So, again, I don't know if they just got cheaper as well.
Weren't we supposed to have a NBA red zone at some point? The Heat are only up by 2 over the Raptors.
They were talking about it, and they do have like crunch
Yeah.
time. A little bit of a pause, but
Oh, you mean like those videos on YouTube or
well,
whatever?
no, they do have some version. It's not like a red zone, but on some nights when it's they have a lot of the league pass games, they'll have a little bit of a whip around thing going on, like a
Oh,
game
okay.
time thing. I haven't really, to be honest, checked it out, but maybe I should. Because League Pass also has like a multi-view section now, so you almost don't even need the whip around coverage. You just throw it in the multi-view.
Oh, okay. How many can you watch?
You can do up to 4.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
It's still a little bit shaky loading all 4. Maybe it's some of the tech that maybe it's just, what I'm watching it
The
on.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, who knows. But for the most part, it works. You can fire up 2 or 3 games at one time, get going.
Yeah.
But it would
Oh,
be nice if they maybe branded that a little bit better as well, too.
Franz. Oh gosh. Yeah. Grizzlies up by 1. Paolo tries to shoot it and clanks it, and the game is pretty much over against the Grizzlies. I guess they foul him, take it to the line, take Santi Alma to the line. Wow, Franz missed the wide open 3.
There's still 10 seconds left here.
I guess. Also, Paolo missed one too.
Alma with 2 free throws. Oh, Alma! Santi!
He missed it?
He missed the first one.
Row. Row. Santi,
Our guy, he's letting us down here in a big
I
moment.
know, jeez. We're actually watching him for once and he's missing it. I totally forgot Wiggins is on the Heat now. I just saw him in the Vice City jerseys. I'm like, what the heck
Yeah, the
am I
Heat
watching?
kind of becoming super forgettable. Bam! What if we can't get Cooper Flag,
Yeah.
can we get Bam? I'd take Bam in a trade.
Heat only up by 1 with 4 minutes left. We got a couple of good games are going on right now.
Alma missed both of them.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Jeez, I'm like 2 seconds behind you. Watching some Grady Dick
Hey,
clanking his
yo.
shot.
Well, I got to the end of the game, so I know what happens.
Oh, jeez. Wait, what? Did they time out much? Oh my gosh, no timeout?
Paolo taking it himself. He only needs a bucket. Can he get to the rim?
Wow. Why didn't they call a timeout? Am I crazy here?
Paolo
What
says,
was-
I'll do it myself.
They had a timeout. Why
They
didn't
did
they
have a
call a
timeout.
timeout? What, in the basketball 101? Timeout and you set up a good shot. Like, against a long team like the Grizzlies, you think you're just going to walk through those mountains and get a shot? Like, Paolo thought there was going to be a timeout, but he's like, nah, I'll just take it. Also, that was a horrible shot by him, but not like he could do much.
I don't necessarily mind the idea of Paolo just getting down and getting to the rim, but yeah, I mean, if you have a timeout there, it's probably best to use it.
Oh, you can see in the background the coach calls a timeout after it's zeros.
Oh, nice
Real
job.
help there. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, after they missed the shot.
Yeah, now you want to call timeout? Oh, I thought it was more time.
Come on, we like our guy's doing a good job over there. Jamal Mosley. We like Jamal Mosley.
Well, not right now.
Yeah, the Magic are slipping a little bit, but they haven't had Suggs as well too. So that's like kind of one of those sneaky. They got Paolo back, but
Yeah.
Suggs, the impact that he brings to that team, they haven't had him for a minute as well.
Dang, you guys are only down. You guys are down by 1 against the Pistons.
Hey, we want to lose, remember? Cooper
Oh
Flag.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
We want to get in the mix for top guy.
Tobias Harris is giving you that work. 6 of 6 from the field.
Oh, Tobias Harris trying to get himself on a better team.
Jeez. Yeah, it looks like it's the De'Aaron Fox show now. 11 shots in the half.
Not only the De'Aaron Fox show though, but I mean the opportunity now for Castle to emerge as well too. I think is going to be really important in this Wemby injury. Like, it's
Yeah, he's coming off the bench though.
he is, but there's just going to be
10 minutes.
that's still a vacuum that there's shots and stuff that have to be taken there. Like there's
Yeah.
still minutes to go around for Castle. There's still opportunity, and they still have the 3-guard lineup that they're going to have to try to navigate. So Castle off the bench is still kind of a good setup there. And I think Chris Paul's a little
Yeah.
bit better in the starting lineup than he is in like the second unit, and then you can kind of adjust how you need to throughout the course of the games. But I gotta be honest, like, I don't know if it's because, like, the thing with Wemby is once we know that you're gonna get Wembanyama, like, the expectations for Wembanyama are already like super through the roof. So Castle, the expectations for him are just a little bit more wait and see, and he's just, continued to exceed expectations. So just like the joy over expectations for Castle. Not that Wemby hasn't, continued to exceed expectations, but Castle has just been like a real revelation this year for the Spurs. And he is like the real type of guy where I know the Fox movie, bring him in and it's like, oh, could he be the number 2 guy? But I mean, Castle is really going to be the guy that emerges as like, as like the number 2. And to be honest, the way he kind of carries himself, he's kind of alpha-y in a way where if there's, like, Wemby can definitely be obviously the number 1 guy in a team, but I don't know if he is quite got like the Anthony Edwards, like, this has to be my team mentality. Like, if Castle did emerge as like a guy where you're like, oh, offensively he can get a shot and go toe to toe with Wembanyama. And that's another thing is Wembanyama is still working on that like go to get a shot portion of his game. And Castle's still a little bit more, he needs to extend his range and continue. He's still a little bit more raw offensively, but he does have that
but he
move.
still has that tenacity. It reminds me of a young Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, I like that comp. And he's a little bit, I think, maybe even a little.
Yeah. He's bigger.
Maxey's pretty explosive, but yeah, he's a little bit more powerful than Maxey, maybe.
Yeah.
But he does have that move, like going to the rim, where he can just get downhill and just stop on a dime, and then defender, like, he does like that little pump fake. The defender flies past him, and then he just lays it in. So he does already. Yeah. He has kind of a go-to thing offensively already, and I could see a world where it's like, oh, there's Castle at the end of games, like taking shots versus where you think that would be Wembanyama. And again, Fox is going to continue to develop here. And to be honest, like, you can kind of see the depth of the team. It's like a nice team. The ball is moving. There's the 3-point and the spacing is there. Again, you got Chris Paul as a veteran on the team, so there's still like a pilot if you need a pilot. And like we're saying, Wemby was a defensive menace, but offensively, what you're getting at the end of games, I think you can still find a way just immediately to replace that. So
but you guys have Ron Holland?
He's on the Pistons.
Oh, it's Holland the second.
His name's Ronald Holland. Is that real?
No, Ronald Holland the second is on your guys' bench. I thought that was Ron Holland. Yeah. What?
No, you're looking at the benches backwards.
Not
He's
Ron
on the Pistons
Holland?
bench.
Hey.
He was drafted by the Pistons, I think, this year.
Yeah, I thought he was drafted by the Pistons. I'm looking at the wrong bench. You're right.
But if you could sneak a Sor Thompson over to the Spurs bench or Cade Cunningham over the Spurs bench, we would take that.
No. We're looking at the wrong one.
We'd be happy.
How you kids work this thing?
but I think there's good opportunity for Fox and Castle here without Wembanyama to continue to. And not that Fox needs it, but, Castle obviously needs it a little bit more than Fox. And for Fox, it's unfortunate that, Wemby's like by far the best teammate he's ever played with from an upside standpoint. And then just, he gets like 2 or 3
I think he's the best teammate any of them I've played with.
Yeah, and then just immediately Wembanyama's hurt and out for the season. And, it's also unfortunate as well, too, because when they were going to draft him number 1 overall, and you're thinking about what are the realms of possibility for what could happen with Wembanyama. Like, one of the main things that that could derail his career could be injuries. And there are the case of the basketball injuries, which, obviously terrible. You hate like a Derrick Rose, starts tearing the ACLs, the knees become acceptable. Guys with the Steph for a second there, it looked like, are the ankles going to become a problem? Is he just always going to get the ankles hurt? And with the big men, we just know that they're susceptible to basketball injuries. But for Wemby, this is like a real life, kind of like tall person, type issue. And it just, strikes a different chord as with the severity of that. And as well, too, just with the severity of clotting in general. You've got to monitor this situation. And they're talking about it like, hey, it's an isolated incident, it's a localized incident. But also, like, the term that they're using to diagnose, it's like, well, when you look into it, is that what this thing is as well, too? So, it doesn't seem like that they're saying at this point like it's gonna derail his basketball career at this point. But it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, it sucks as well too. That's not even like a basketball injury. It's just like a real
Yeah.
life health problem that he's
Yeah,
encountering now.
not an issue of playing too hard or something.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, he tore his ACL, or you're like, oh, the lower body thing from the big men, like how does that happen? Because especially with like as skinny as he is, like it would seem like he's always on the verge of like twisting an ankle or something at some point. And he's still like, you know, he's with the health stuff and the flexibility, like he's always worked on maintaining his body to be durable in that way. And then when you get kind of this thing where it's like, you know, just like an unavoidable thing, like how do you train to, you know, not get blood clots? You know, I just don't even know if that's a thing that you can regiment in there.
You can't really train.
Yeah, it's just tough to see.
And Toronto getting the lead over Miami, up by 2.
See?
I just saw a crazy stat. Apparently, R.J. Barrett has the most points of class of 2019.
Wow.
Most career points, even more than Ja Morant.
Shout
Darius
out.
Garland, I think, was second.
Because R.J.
But-
Barrett's actually out there a playing.
Yeah, like he never gets hurt.
R.J.
Yeah.
Barrett's putting shots up. R.J. Barrett's playing games. See the
It's
Raptors?
just-
Kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting because he's always seen as the second guy on Duke team. You know, of course, Cam Reddish, who's still out there getting buckets. He's been looking at
In
one-on-ones,
practice.
still getting buckets. And then you know, of course, Zion's 1, Ja Morant 2, but R.J. Barrett, the third option, is the best one according to points scored. I mean, you know, as a player, that's all you want is putting the ball in the hoop.
So you're saying if we were redrafting, you'd take R.J. Barrett 1?
Take no, I wouldn't. Well, are we still in on Zion? Like, at what point can we give up on him? When is it cool to not be cool with Zion?
Wasn't Garland also in that draft?
Yeah,
I think Garland might have been
he's
the fourth
second.
pick.
He's second. Yeah.
Wow, so Barrett is over Garland in points too. I guess Garland's had some injuries as well.
Yeah.
Garland's been in and out a little bit with some time missed. So that is crazy. Shout out to R.J. Barrett.
I know it's insane.
Is he at 20? He's not 20 points a game for his career, but he's got to be 18, 19. He might be 20. Honestly, because Ja
Yeah,
is like, Ja's got to be up over 20 as well, too. So if Barrett's outscoring him from a total draft standpoint, then he's got to be up there from a per game standpoint, obviously, as well. But I don't know. I'm still not totally out of the Raptors, Masai Ujiri. I like Scotty Barnes. I like some of their pieces. Obviously, maybe the collection of it and the payrolls together is not ideal.
Yeah.
But it's still a young team as well, too. It's not like an older team where you're like,
No,
this is
it's
the
a
best
young
version of the
team.
team.
It is a young team. They paid a lot for that young team. It is a young team.
It'll look better as the contracts in the CBA grows. Pause.
Yeah.
Masai Ujiri,
No,
maybe he's
no.
actually too smart. He's thinking, 4 steps ahead.
Oh.
And then we'll be looking at this
Sam
roster.
Presti's only thinking of 2.
In like 2 years, we'll be looking at this roster like, hey, look at this. It's actually inexpensive. Scotty Barnes,
No,
$40 million.
Nico Harris is only thinking 3 months ahead.
Yeah, Nico Harris has a very short-sighted future. But I don't know. With the way that Doncic looked, have you watched any of Doncic at all since the trade has happened?
Yeah, no, that's true. It has been looking rough. That's what I was mentioning with the Hornets, or with the Hornets game. Yeah, they were picking on him the whole game. Like, they were like, yeah, you're not hiding. We're attacking you every single possession. And it paid off.
So you said you had concerns with the Lakers. Is that your number one?
Number one concern team? No, that's the Suns. That's the Suns.
No, your number one concern for the Lakers. You said you were concerned about the Lakers after
Doncic.
watching that Hornets game.
Yeah, I would say that. But yeah, I am interested in seeing what the Suns do as well, because it's like the most known secret in the league that if this season doesn't go well, KD's dipping. And if he's dipping, I don't know how you keep Booker. I don't know. I saw some stat that was like Ayton, KD, Booker, and Chris Paul were like, not 8-0. They were
No,
like,
yeah, I saw that too. 8-0.
8-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they played
Now
apparently
they-
8 games together.
Now they might not even have any other team. I don't know.
It depends on what you're
It's
able
just-
to get back for Durant in a trade, because again, the Luka thing, I don't know if it's going to make teams look at the trade market differently, but it is a thing where is this how the new CBA is going to push these trades where yeah,
Yeah.
that package of a lot of picks is out there, but maybe they are able to flip him for another player and keep the team mildly competitive in a way where Booker can be happy and they can still have star players to build around and still try to maintain themselves a competitive team. But I mean, I honestly at this point agree with Durant. Like if he wants to leave, he should just go. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point just lean into the guy that you are. He doesn't really have time in his career to correct from a legacy standpoint. Like if he stays in Phoenix, he's not going to be the guy that stayed in Phoenix. He's just going to play the last couple of years of his career in a disastrous situation that, like you've said, maybe he's a part of helping create that, but there's also been some basketball moves made. The Beal trade was handicapped them, especially in the second apron in a very aggressive way. But I honestly think, like, what do they say? Like, when it's winter and you're skidding, like the only way to get through it is like steer through the skid or whatever. Like you just got to commit to how bad you're skidding. Like at this point, that's what Durant has to do. He just has to commit to the bit. He just has to be the guy that gets traded and plays for a bunch of teams. He just kind of has to be the NBA assassin, the guy that just bounced around from team to team. I don't know if it's like the NBA brokenhearted guy, like the OKC thing was the long-term relationship, and then he just kind of bounced around for, a while after that, trying to find the right team. But
Yeah.
either way, like at this point, I think the only right thing for him to do is to just keep asking for trades until he finds the right situation. It's the only thing that'll help his legacy is to keep getting into better situations. But Phoenix is not going to be that, and if he stays, I mean, I guess if we go the other way, he does stay in Phoenix and they do miraculously build a title team, then that is, I guess, beneficial for him. But that's just not going to happen in Phoenix, and him staying there with bad basketball, I don't know how that benefits his legacy.
Yeah. No, I don't know how either. I mean, I guess it's just that he finally stayed with a team. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think he should either go to OKC or the Warriors. Um, but who knows? I don't.
Well, Russillo was saying on his
think
pod that he was reminding us that he was saying in the summer that he wanted to go to Houston. So I don't know. Do we fire that back up in the summer? Durant to Houston?
Yeah, they're not going. Houston don't want him, as far as I know.
What about Durant to the Spurs? So just Durant in Texas in general. Put him on the Mavs?
KD. Him and AD, that wouldn't be bad. And Kyrie, that's actually that's a good spot. They just don't have anything to give for him.
Well, do you have to give up Kyrie and some other stuff?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if they have like picks and stuff to give up, but
then at that point, is it worth the spot? And I think that's what KD didn't realize is, if they do have to trade all these things for you, then that means your team that you're going to isn't going to be that good.
Well, I do think it depends on and like we're saying, when he did get to Phoenix, that was a good team. When he gets there with Ayton and Chris Paul, they're 8-0. Like there's a version of that team that is really good. Just the basketball moves that they've made since then they're not a good team anymore. So I don't know if you become a disastrous team. And again, like look at what the Mavs and the Lakers just did. Like the Mavs are still, when Davis was out there and playing, they still look like they could be a pretty competitive team in a way. So I think you can get Durant, and I think his value's a little bit down as well too, because you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel with his career versus even still on that Brooklyn, when you're making that Brooklyn trade, which that's got to be 3 seasons ago now at this point, 2.5 seasons. So, even at that point, you're like, how much longer does this guy have? And pause.
Yeah.
And now you're going, okay, like we could reasonably say 4 years, and then if he's going to be playing longer at a high level than 4+ years. And it's like, well, I guess we just miscalculated that. And he's a great all-time guy, and it is what it is. But I think he's a little bit more of a reasonable cost now, but still like a really great offensive player. And still a guy that can continue to add to his legacy, I think, in an all-time way, like in a positive way, if he finds himself in a good basketball situation. And I don't know if, like, is requesting a trade, like, who's gonna blame him?
Yeah, I don't. Just keeps blaming himself, or he keeps blaming other people. No accountability. Yeah, I don't know.
And and then if you're Phoenix, the Booker thing, obviously, maybe if you're hesitant to trade Durant because of the Booker thing, then that's reasonable as well too. Like Booker's not a guy that you want to get unhappy, want to start requesting a trade.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
then that Booker, you're going to get a haul for. So regardless of what you're going to get for Durant, like you're going to be in a position to rebuild if you have to trade two of those guys, and I think you're going to have like a ton of pretty nice assets. So I wouldn't, and again, maybe I want both these guys on the Spurs, so it's just kind of like subconsciously,
Of course.
yeah, trade these guys to the Spurs. But
You want KD on the Spurs?
yeah, why wouldn't we want KD on the Spurs?
I don't know. I just
A
think
couple
he
of
takes a lot
7-foot shot makers.
takes a lot of shots. I think he takes shots away from the rest of the team. I don't
Please
know.
do.
Like,
If Durant's taking them, they're going in.
it's a lot of injuries and stuff. I don't know. I'm a little wary of a young team having KD, but like a veteran team like the Warriors, I think makes sense. Shout out Tyler Hero getting.
But does a young
Getting
team
fouled
almost
on a
ensure
mid-range
Durant
that
in a
he
way where
makes
if he's on an old team, like, now you have Steph, Durant, and Butler, like that's you're talking about injury risk, You're building your team around a bunch of 35-plus stars versus, if you have Wemby and have Castle and have youth there. Like, is Fox for Durant in the offseason an interesting move to think about?
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, do you think the Spurs are crazy for doing a trade like that?
I don't think they're crazy. It's just not something I do. Just because they have with the just because of his age, injury history,
Because I
whether
guess
it's
I could
really
hear. Let
worth
me
it.
pull the Durant contract back up as well. But they're gonna have to
Second
extend.
apron, yeah.
They're gonna have to extend De'Aaron Fox at some point because he is gonna be an expiring contract next season. So he's gonna be 50+ million, being an All NBA guy. So if you're gonna be just in that massive payroll territory, anyways, you would have Durant. So Durant would be an expiring contract next year at $53 million.
Jeez.
I don't know. And then if you're Phoenix, like you think, okay, we get younger. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox is not Kevin Durant from a peak standpoint, but we get younger. Booker's got a teammate, Kentucky background. Both those guys played at the same school. So maybe there's a little like appeasing Devin Booker there as well too. And then the problem is you still have the Bradley Beal piece that you have to figure out, and that's just going to be this albatross contract that you have to try to team build around until you work that out. But I'm going to trade machine that one a little bit. That's an interesting move. Shout out to De'Aaron Fox. I love having him on the Spurs. But I'm just saying, if we can get Kevin Durant, baby.
Trying to get rid of him already.
Kevin Durant would be nuts.
He didn't do none.
And Kevin Durant, and maybe a little bit more, like he doesn't have to carry the offense. He can just be a guy that, the last 7 minutes, can Durant just go into full takeover mode and hit those like fadeaway shots? Because he does have that part of his bag where he's just got like that Dirk part of his bag where it's the skilled shots, it's the post moves, it's the fadeaways, it's the I'm the 7-footer and I'm taller than you and I can get into my spot on the court. Like he could have like an old man E type game where he can be like a specialty guy, maybe not off the bench, but like that 25 minutes a game, and then still manage to give you, he's still like a 20-point a game scorer, but the number's going to be down a little bit. But in those last quarters, in the last big clutch minutes, he can be a big shot maker for you. I mean, Wemby, Durant, Castle, Vassell, is that a title team?
No.
Decent.
It's a decent team. Not a title team. Yeah, not a guaranteed title team. The
But I
Heat
don't know if
showing their
Steph-
quality up by 7.
Steph, Durant, and Butler is a guaranteed title team either as well.
No, I don't know if there's any teams in the West that I'd say.
And does he go there
title.
if Draymond's still there? Do you think he wants to reunite with Draymond at all?
No.
Has
he's not
anybody
going
ever
as long as
reunited with
there.
Draymond?
No, no one. I can't stand Draymond, man.
What's the history of Draymond? It's like, okay, well, maybe this guy's been in a lot of breakups, but he has like gotten back together with a lot of the exes. So it's like, okay, there's at least still something there. Like Draymond, just there's breakups and then that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They just cut him. They just cut him out. They just cut him out. Like, I'm done
Just
with the
keep bringing him
Draymond
back. They
relationship.
keep bringing him back.
But
They
OKC
never
would be
stop.
fun, obviously, for him to finish out his career there.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
it
think
would
there
be.
would be hard feelings from the OKC fans at this point either. Like, there's been enough time.
No.
I think they've
Yeah,
healed.
it would be pathetic, poetic.
And OKC has built their own team without Durant. So it's like, it wouldn't be Durant, like, where
Yeah.
Cleveland, I think they needed LeBron to return to, like, save Cleveland.
Yeah,
And
no,
that was
they actually needed him, yeah.
that was the correct version of the story as well, too, I think. Like, it was great that LeBron was able to have that redeeming arc. And if Durant had had the redeeming go back and save OKC arc, like, that'd be fine. But now it's like he goes back and is the last piece that they need. You know, the last piece of the puzzle, just the piece to get him over the top. And he's joining a thing that Sam Presti's already built. He's returning home. And he doesn't have to have that pressure of being, like, the full-on savior. Shea's the guy. J-Dub, Chet, they're all there. You know, who knows what the trade would have to be. So if he goes to OKC, what is the trade, do you think? Are they able to keep
They
Chet
have so
or
many
J-Dub?
pieces.
So
Yeah,
they
they
could just do a
definitely
lot of
can.
picks, you're right. They could do the picks throw at him.
They need to get rid of picks. But yeah, there's probably some players that could give up.
Hartenstein's
Isaiah
contract?
Joe. Yeah. Isaiah Joe is a player.
Isaiah Joe would be nice. Will Wiggins?
Yeah.
Aaron Wiggins?
Maybe the
Oh,
yeah, I'm
Case
trying
and
to think.
Wallace? You got to get Case and Wallace.
Jason Wallace. Yeah.
For sure. Could you get J-Dub? Is there any way?
Is Poku still in the league?
If he is, I don't think he's on the Thunder. Which league are you talking about? The NBA or what?
I'm dead.
Poku's in a league. I'm just not sure which one he's in.
Poku.
Shout out Poku. Do you think Poku could call in? We might
Yeah,
be
we
able to
could
get
definitely
Poku.
we get Poku on the pod for sure. We just
IT,
gotta
write
slide
that
him in
down.
DMs.
DM Poku.
What? Is there any NBA or players do you think we could get Imani Bates?
Ooh, Amani Bates would be a good one. Do a little Amani Bates, the Amani Bates story, the Amani Bates episode.
Should we just start DMing every G Leaguer out there?
Should we just be like the official voice of the G League, the Rem and Sam pod?
That could actually do pretty
Do
well.
you think Bronny would do an appearance? Do you think
If we were actually killing it, yeah.
Do you think media would? But like, is Bronny even doing media appearances like that? I mean, he was on streamers and stuff for a while, but do you think Bronny would even do like a pod at this point? Would they even risk that? Because like, let's be honest. You know, I'm asking Bronny a dumb question. There's at least 2 or 3 questions where you're like, oh man, what are we doing?
When was the last time you called LeBron down?
Okay, well, maybe if IT say that one or something. Maybe we'll pretend that that's like a listener question.
Yeah, we got one from the chat here.
Yeah, somebody
like
wants
not
to-
a single thing in the chat.
We have a emailer here that said, when was the last time that you called LeBron daddy? But I don't know, maybe there's a couple of trying to think, like, is there another big like G League name star like that? Because like, you know, could we have gotten in on like the Thon Maker buzz, like when he was really or like no, who's the guy I'm thinking of? Taco Fall? Like when at the peak of the Taco Fall hype?
Exactly.
Is there like a Taco Fall right now in the league? Is it just Wemby?
Yeah, that's true.
We need a guy. What about Sam Hauser? Can we get Sam Hauser?
Sam Hauser could be pretty good.
Who's the best player that we could get? Peyton Pritchard?
Nah, we couldn't get Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard's too good.
Yeah, he's too good. He just hit 8 threes in a game.
Yeah, if you hit what, like 5 or more threes in a game, you're probably not dipping onto the Rim Sam pond. Dillingham? We might be able to get Dillingham.
Rob Dillingham, yeah.
We could fake
I really want to get we should
email.
try Sam Hauser now that you said it.
I don't know why Sam Hauser just popped into my head, but I was like, can we just randomly just get Sam Hauser? That'd be pretty funny. Off-season Sam Hauser episode. Like, Sam, I don't really know what to ask you, but how's it going, buddy? You enjoying playing basketball in the league? So where did you go to college? Is he a Marquette guy? I think he might have been a Marquette guy. Shout out the Golden Eagles.
Cuckoo. Marquette.
Luka
they're
Garza?
always good. Garza, definitely.
Oh, we almost have to get Luka Garza.
Yeah, should we start DMing him now or like?
In the middle of the game? If he goes to the bench and looks at his phone, it's a good sign.
There you go. We'll just keep an eye on him.
Steven Adams might do it.
He's definitely. I've seen him in a lot of interviews.
Yeah, Steven Adams he might not like even just know. He's just like, a show wants me on. Okay, fine. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even like know what the shows are. His TikTok algorithm is just like all of those like outdoor, like guy cooking next to a river videos.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Guy in a mountain cooking over a fire, which me and Steven Adams would have a very similar algorithm lately.
Yeah.
Shout out the old Black Sea adventurer.
Oh, do we have breaking news right now?
Oh, do we?
Breaking news.
What is source saying?
Michigan's men's basketball coach, Dusty Mays, agrees to a multi-year agreement.
Lock it in, baby. Dusty May.
Do you like him?
Dusty May is killing it right now at Michigan. He has
Oh, he's really 20-5. You guys are cooking.
turned around. Tough night, though they lost to Michigan State tonight, unfortunately. 62-65. Danny Wolf, 11 points, 5 for 11 from the field. Probably going to need him to be in the 20-point range if you're going to take down Michigan State. But then again, Michigan State is 22.
Oh, you guys are top of the Big Ten. Wow.
We were. I think Michigan State might have just taken over with that one. But Jace Richardson took us down tonight, which I believe is Jason Richardson's kid. So,
yeah.
You get a loss to one of these legacy kids. It's like it's just the start of something.
Legacy kids is hilarious.
NBA Nepo babies. Jason Richardson the second, yeah. At Michigan State. So
that's interesting.
I could see him continuing his stock continuing to grow as a player as well too. He looks really like a solid guy. So
nice. No, I'm happy your team's doing well because the Jayhawks are almost 500 in Big 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just got stomped by BYU.
Is Bill
It was
Self
57-91. Yeah, I don't know. Then we lost to Utah the game before. We definitely should not be ranked, which would be the second time only since 2009 or something.
What happened? Is Dickinson out of his prime now? He's played too long.
Yeah, Dickinson's the only one scoring anything. KJ Adams, Juwan Harris. I knew the quality of players at Kansas had been declining, but I was like, we could be decent, a top 20 team at least, but BYU and co. It's not looking good right now.
Wow, Dickinson's the first guy to have to retire from college. He's like, I've played too long. That's my time, folks. That's all I've got. Shout out. He's trying.
That's hilarious. But yeah, Dusty May is going to be around Ann Arbor for a little bit.
No, that is good to see that we're able to lock him in because I do think there were some rumors about him maybe going to another Big Ten school, which would be a little...
yeah, Indiana because he was the assistant for...
Yeah, that's right,
Bob
Indiana.
McKnight.
Yeah, which I guess if you're going basketball legacy, what Indiana is, maybe a little better than Michigan just as like a, the centerpiece of basketball in America. Indiana, the guy shooting on the rim on, the side of his barn or whatever. But I mean, Michigan as a program, I think that just shows you that that's a top-notch program. Beeline was there forever. I mean, Juwan Howard wasn't going to go anywhere as long as Michigan would have had him. So if a guy's going to be at Michigan, it's going to be tough for that guy to take a different job. And especially in the NIL era as well, too. Like, Michigan's a pretty good school for that. Do you think Kansas is kind of suffering from that at all? Like, do you think that is a reason that... I haven't looked at, your recruiting classes from the last couple of years. Is it just like a recruiting class that's not hitting, or are you guys not being able to recruit the same, do you know?
It's both. I mean, they're not hitting because we're not able to recruit the same. And I don't know if it's Bill Self not adjusting to the times, not getting enough money from boosters or whatever, but we have been declining. And we've never really gotten flashy players, but they've been at least decent,
Yeah.
Decent to good. And now we're having a bad season, like the first in a long while, and this is not what Kansas basketball is used to.
Yeah, get us back to the Josh Jackson era of Kansas basketball. What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was about to say. That one first team his freshman year.
Oh, okay. So for this upcoming class, Dimbasta #1 going to BYU, but Darren Peterson, #2 overall player, combo guard, 6'5", 195, going to Kansas. So there we go. Jayhawks.
Wait, who is?
Darren Peterson, the #2 overall player for
Darren Peterson. Okay.
2025. And then he's actually over Cameron Boozer. Cameron Boozer is the number 3 player.
Oh, Boozer twin. Oh, okay.
So it goes Dembasta, Peterson, and Boozer, top 3.
People saying best since LeBron. And
Wait.
his last high school game.
For Peterson?
Oh, I guess he plays for Akron. And so they're saying he's the best since LeBron.
Wow, to play at Akron.
6'5", or 6'5", 6'6", with a 6'10" wingspan.
Whoa, 6'10". So you guys also have Samus Calderon, number 73 overall player. But it's the number 28 overall class.
Jayhawks are back.
Well, at least you've got a guy. So this past year, you got the number 14 overall player, a center, Flory Bidunga.
I haven't seen him play.
No, I was going to say, I don't know if he's really been able to make much of an impact this year. And then if you go back to 2023 as well, too. Okay, so you had the number 9 overall class, but, number 20 overall player. Oh, Furphy was in that class, number 35. Number 51 overall player with Marcus Adams, and then Jamari McDowell, number 88 overall player. Furphy went to the league, right?
That doesn't sound like a name I'm familiar with.
Furphy? Johnny Furphy? I feel like he thought... Oh, transfer rank, though? 2023, you guys killed it in the transfer portal?
Yeah, we killed it in the transfer portal. We brought in a lot of players, including your boy Dickinson.
That's right. That's the year you brought in Dickinson, of course. Of course.
But
Chris Carter. Parker Braun?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. No one's cooking.
Parker Braun apparently not able to take the mantle from Christian Braun. Nick Timberlake? Any relation to Justin? Maybe? Nick Timberlake bringing sexy back to Kansas? Potentially? Trying to? Maybe. But, yeah, unfortunately, we had the lead there for a minute, too, against Michigan State, but it looks like they really killed us in the second half. Yeah, we were 41-24. They took us down in the second half. So.
Talk about turning on the clamps.
Yeah, not good. But Danny Wolf, I saw his name in the first round for some NBA draft stuff, so I know you sent me a highlight a while back of him hitting that crazy turnaround step back 3.
Yeah, 7-footer too.
Yeah, he's cooking.
I know. That's tough. That was a crazy shot,
I kind of think he might be able to play in the league a little bit. Little Julius Randle, Jaime Jaquez.
There's some talent there if you're able to do that. Some team will find a place for you.
Yeah, maybe the Cooper Flag consolation prize, Danny Wolf. If the Spurs can't get Cooper Flag, do we take Danny Wolf?
Who knows? Who knows? But you guys look like a good team. I'm excited to see y'all in a couple of weeks. March Madness is around the corner. Are you getting excited at all?
I'm gonna have to start really paying attention now to college basketball. Start really.
Could you guys be a number 1 seed or something?
I don't know if we'll quite get to number 1 seed. I think going into this game we were like number 14 in the poll. So maybe top 3 seed, something along those lines. And especially if we win the Big Ten.
That'd be huge for y'all. You guys haven't been that good since.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. This Dusty May thing is incredible.
Yeah.
And he's really coaching these guys up. The transfer portal seems like we were able to bring a couple of these guys in. Really successful. Donaldson, we brought him in. He wasn't. Looks like his stat line.
Last year, a great football coach. Now you got a great basketball one.
Hey, give Sharon Moore some credit. We still like Sharon Moore.
Yeah, because you guys beat Ohio State. Yeah. Like, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. You guys got one.
We got Bryce Underwood coming in the number 1 overall quarterback in high school.
That's it.
This year.
That's all you guys got.
We're looking good, baby. Michigan's back. Michigan's here to stay. Michigan, the total. Honestly, maybe this is the best that the total sports of Michigan could have looked since maybe because Beeline and Harbaugh never really overlapped like that.
Yeah.
Like there was a moment there where you're like, is Beeline actually the best coach on the Michigan campus? Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe this is the place where it actually overlaps. Sharon Moore's got Michigan football cooking. Dusty May's got Michigan basketball cooking.
Yeah.
Michigan field hockey. I think we usually do pretty good in that.
Yeah.
Couple of wrestlers, maybe.
Couple of wrestlers.
Get the whole sports scene at the Maize and Blue looking good again. But yeah, I'm really happy about the Dusty May hiring. Because again, Beeline was one of those guys where you're like, you could I mean, maybe you weren't going to rank him over a guy like Bill Self or Roy Williams or Coach K or the top,
Yeah.
like the actual tier A basketball coaches in college at that time. But Beeline was a guy you're like, okay, at any given year, any given tournament, he could give you a recruiting class and give you a stretch where their team's going to be just as good. We made a couple of Final Fours. We were in the Big Ten tournament making runs and winning the Big Ten every year. And there was just a confidence that you had with Beeline where you go, we can win our conference any year. And like I was saying, any year we can win the national title. And Dusty May is still on the rise. Like, this is his first, I think, big Power 5 job. You know, we bring him over from Florida Atlantic. I don't know exactly what the coaching history was before that, if that was like his first, you know, big Division I coaching gig or whatever. But, you know, he's still the newer face. You don't have the history with him in the tournament. He's not a guy you bring over and go, oh, we know the pedigree of Dusty May. We know that he could be a really good coach. But now that we're seeing him turn around Michigan, it's like, oh, maybe we do have one of these guys where – and we're seeing right now, too, like a little bit of a transition with these top guys. Like, you know, a lot of the older guys are gone. You know, like you're saying, Bill Self even. I know we just said that they got to recruit, but Kansas has been a little down the last couple of years. I know Izzo with Michigan State.
Bill Self might have to hit the road after he's got 2 rings now.
Sam's just on here tonight. Just get rid of Kelsey, get rid of Bill Self. Everybody
get rid of them all.
It's just time to start fresh.
Yep.
I think it's vibes in the air right now for everybody. But
no, but Bill Self's been around for a long while. He's been around for what, 20?
For sure.
Yeah, like, and he's got his second ring recently. Like, you know,
Christian
what more are you gonna do? I mean, I guess he's just playing until they name the court after him.
They haven't done that already?
No, it's what, Fog?
Bill Self's got to have a walkway or something named after him.
Something. That's something.
Little path, the Bill Self shelf in the library.
Bill Self shelf. Bill Self shelf is crazy.
There's got to be something named after him.
Crazy work.
Who knows? But is like we see newer coaches emerge. You know, Shire looks good over in Duke. Seems like they might have another guy.
He does look good. He does look good.
Yeah, but Dusty May might be one of those guys. You know, Jay Wright was another great legacy coach that we lost at Villanova. Lost meaning, you know, he retired. Fortunately, Jay Wright's still with us. But yeah, Michigan might. Dusty May might have it, chat. He might be next up. Dusty May is going to run the game. Dusty May is essentially just the Big X, the plug of college basketball coaches.
Big X, the plug. He's hilarious.
Next up. Dusty May,
next
Big X.
Up.
Dusty May sounds
Have
a
you
little bit
started
more
looking
like a
at NFL draft stuff? When is the NFL draft?
About to start prepping for that.
You guys got the
stuff.
14th pick?
We do. With a little Benjamin Morrison, maybe. Some secondary help. Who knows? But
yeah, I guess it's end of the April. But a combine is coming up, right? Is that right?
Combine's really soon, for sure. Right. But I saw on the TV at work today that somebody on ESPN had their top 10 draft rankings, and neither of the quarterbacks were in their top 10, which was not totally shocking, but
yeah, that's not crazy.
I was surprised that they kind of slid down draft boards that much. Like there was still even a point in the season where I felt like Shedeur and Cam Ward. It's not like, okay, maybe they're not the number 1 overall player in the class, but they're still in the top 10. But now they're not even in that mix. So we'll let the player boards unfold, and you know, we'll definitely get into the draft here as well too. But yeah, that season is right around the corner. That's gonna be fun as we start hopping into that. Chiefs get a little offensive line help.
Maybe
another receiver. But you guys are gonna get Rice back as well too. Like if you had Rasheed Rice, are you winning this game?
No, I don't know if I'd say all that. It definitely would have been still closer, you know.
Rasheed Rice, good blocking receiver, might have helped.
Well, it's not even blocking. It's more of like being able to punish this team deep, because the best way to beat this offense was to allow the routes to develop and throw it to them. But you can't have any routes develop if you're getting sacked. So, you know, maybe Rasheed Rice could have made some plays more better than DeAndre Hopkins. But I don't think we're winning the game for sure.
He will be a good boost back to the offense, though. And him and Worthy both have kind of different skill sets that I think will be able to play off each other. Where, like you're saying, I think they both have kind of a short, long game that they can go back and forth to. Because Worthy's got the speed, but then you can use him around the line of scrimmage. But then we saw Rasheed Rice with the way they were able to use him in sort of the yards after the catch situations as well, too. He's a good receiver. I think people kind of forgot about him this year, but he's a really, really good receiver.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got like a
So
typical,
Rasheed Rice. He is
you
good.
know, is he going to be AJ Brown or Justin Jefferson or Nico Collins? But he can be a number one for you guys for sure.
No, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely, he can be a really good
Also,
receiver.
quick soccer corner. Shout out to Kylian Mbappe. He's back. Had a hat
Ooh,
trick this weekend against Real Madrid. Um, and Man City is falling apart. Oh, he had the quick hat trick against Man City, playing for Real Madrid, and Man City won everything last season and is now falling apart this season. So that's kind of a yikes.
ooh.
Also,
Hopefully
it
that doesn't
is
happen to the
funny to,
Chiefs.
yeah, I don't know. Also funny to see the main team in Paris Saint-Germain, playing really, really well after they got rid of Mbappe. And some Ewing theory stuff going on with that team.
Oh,
Who knows? Who
Mbappe
knows?
Ewing theory. And the team that he's going to is not playing well either. It's not a good sign. Are you saying the Mbappe run's
Yeah.
over?
I don't know. I mean, now he's on Real Madrid. They're up and down. They're unreliable, but yeah, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But and then what else happened? I don't think there's much else. Frisbee, it's mostly college stuff. Shout out to Iowa Indoor.
When does the
Iowa
UFA
probably
return?
had their couple of games this past weekend in the summer. It's the
What
summer
is
stuff. They're
so
playing. All the
how
college kids are playing now. So
how long is the UFA season?
uh it's like 2 3 months. It's like like summer football.
Yeah.
It ends like late August. Yeah, but it's because they can play like I think every weekend. So they play every weekend from like let me see, when does UFA start?
That seems
Let me
about right though.
check.
If we were getting 10 months out of the year without Ultimate Frisbee, it's too much. We need Ultimate Frisbee back.
Yeah, bring it
I'm ready to
back.
go.
Bring it
UFA.
back.
Alley
Is it
Cats.
in late April? I think they might start. So they start in late April.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
late
goodness.
April, and then the regular season ends. It's like 13 weeks, so it ends in September. So April to September. So summer sport, like baseball. Not as nearly many games. But yeah, they need to bring the summer back. But yeah, President's Day invite is usually the first kind of ruler of how good the college teams are. And Oregon goes and handles business, destroys Colorado, who is seen as the second best team in the nation, but are one of the
Ooh.
top three teams in the nation. No, maybe not the second, but the third. And so Oregon is the dominant number one team right now, looking like the high pick, which is interesting because a few of those players won the club nationals, which is like all ages club nationals for men's. So it's not surprising that those players come back, bring that level of play to their team. But in the top three is a team from the Midwest, Carleton, a little bit undersized, but a scrappy team that's been kind of on the edges. They've had some freshmen. They've started to rebuild, and we're starting to see the fruits of it. And now they're back in the national scene, a top three team in the nation, and they haven't had a real test yet, but it'll be interesting to see how the team out of Minnesota does throughout the rest of this season. UNC, the team that won four in a row, lost last year, has lost so many pieces this year and only has like one really good player. So not
Mm.
looking great for them this season
Rebuilding year.
either. Yeah, definitely a rebuilding year for them. So definitely the best frisbee is over here in the West. A little bit in the
Oh, West
Midwest,
Coast.
but Oregon slow. Cal Poly slow. Um, Colorado, I'm a little bit further out west here. The best teams are out here.
Just commit fully to the West Coast. Just be a Kendrick guy now. The Ultimate Frisbee's moved out there. Just be one of the 100 million people that are now listening to Kendrick every month.
Not like us. Not like us. BYU, which is like Utah. We kind of claim it. It's tough. It's tough right now for the rest of the nation. Yeah, UMass is still good, but yeah, Oregon State, top 10 team. I don't
Mm.
know, Ram, though, not to get political, but let's get political. You feeling the effects of any of these orders, man? These decrees?
Well, I don't know if I'm living the life that's gonna feel the effects of anything that happens in politics, but I mean, yeah, you definitely hear and you see what is happening in just in the greater society as well too. So I mean, I've definitely probably seeing the ramifications of it. Fortunately for me, more so than I am like
Okay, that's good.
directly feeling the impacts of them.
Staying underground.
Yeah, it like what is actually gonna happen that's gonna throw my routine off. It's just like the fortunate
Mm.
thing of where I'm moving right now. But
No, that's been crazy.
yeah,
It's been crazy. Now he's
stuff's
calling
been wild.
himself King Trump. What are you gonna do if we get drafted? Are you running?
Uh, I don't know. I've been thinking about that for probably a good 8 to 12 months now. So
Yeah.
haven't quite made a good decision. It depends on what the situations are in which we get drafted, because there are circumstances where maybe honestly that might be the best place to be at in the moment. So we'll just have to see, I
Mm,
guess, where the world's at. But
mm.
I guess I don't
Safer in
have a
the army
defection.
than out in these streets.
I don't have a defection plan in place yet. Can I request a trade
Yeah,
for
me
another
neither.
country? Can I do that?
Put in a trade request. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Get to the winning
That's
team.
hilarious. If you're like know that you're getting sent to the Middle East instead of Greenland, does that make you more in or not?
Wait, what do you mean? As a soldier?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm super in on necessarily. Yeah, again, it depends. Like,
You're gonna go freezing or but then it's cool. You don't have like
the cold.
sand and stuff.
The cold is undefeated. The cold is undefeated.
Wow.
If
You
there's
rather
anything
just
you know
stick
about
freezing then.
military history, it's I'm not like a military mover. Know the history of these great guys, but very basic things is like cold fronts are the most dangerous fronts. I guess I don't know if we need to bring an
Yeah,
actual general on here
iceberg.
to rank like war
Yeah, let's
fronts,
call
but
in any 5-star generals.
yeah, there might be a couple more. Did you see that we were gonna like? I didn't see what the full like actual titles of the people were, but like our highest ranking member of the military was now just gonna get replaced as well too, amongst all the other people getting
Yeah.
replaced.
Who else is getting replaced?
But
I
like our
saw
most we're trading our
we're
veteran player.
losing. Now you're losing like 6,400, IRS employees. So people were saying like if you do owe, like don't put in your tax return and see if they'll actually do anything.
There will be
And then if you
nobody
don't,
to file the tax
yeah,
returns this year at the IRS.
exactly. Like no one's gonna give our returns. We're screwed. We're gonna have like some AI bot tell us that we gave all our money's been donated to like some rich guy's fund or something.
Yeah. So which
That's
nuke
funny.
is my tax money building?
Exactly.
Can I get a picture
Exactly.
of the fighter jet?
Can I get a picture of the fighter jet?
It's like when you like adopt an animal or something overseas.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I know.
It's just like, well, you support this elephant. It's just, well, yeah, your taxpayer
Not like we have a
dollars
choice.
are over here in this crate of C4s. It's like, oh, that's so
uh,
beautiful.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna use that one. I'm stealing that one. I'm stealing it.
Yeah, use that one
Shut
at your
up.
next family dinner, people. If you ever get in a political
Yeah.
argument, it's
No,
a cutting edge,
you get your
cutting edge
picture.
political point right there.
Exactly. Exactly. Nah, if you laugh, you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. But we're only a month, 2 months in.
It's crazy.
Like what month? At what month
He got.
point
That's a
is
good
it gonna?
point. When it's the
Yeah.
21st, he was inaugurated a month ago. It's been 4
Yeah.
weeks.
And we're already calling him King Trump. We're already calling him
And
king.
he's like, well, I'll just fire the government and make myself a king. Like,
Might as well. At what year do you think he finally dissolves Congress? Like he's just full emperor Palpatine.
at this
like,
point, I mean, he did all this in a month. It could be. You never know. It could be at the end of the year. It could be in 2 to. I honestly don't know how fast things can snowball out of control. Once you start
he
dismantling
just fires
things,
everyone. He's just doing the apprentice to the government. He's
True.
just like, you're
We don't even have
fired.
TV
You're
cameras in here. We're
fired.
missing out a whole opportunity.
You're fired.
Like, if we're going
Everyone.
to destroy our government, can we at least get a commercial break or two?
He's just his State of the Union. You're fired.
You're fired.
Everyone's fired. Just go home.
You're fired. It's just a bunch of blonde women running the government.
And Fox
True.
host.
Yeah, a
Fox
bunch
and
of Fox News
Friends.
hosts.
Fox and Friends host.
It's
That's
Trump
what they
and
call the
Fox and
government.
Friends running the government. It's crazy. as shit.
Fuck. I don't know. Man. I just am wondering like how tough it would be for me to move, go to Australia or something.
Would that be your number one country of choice?
I don't know. I think so. Where would you go? Yeah, if you Trump's like, we don't want any more people of color here in America. Where would you move?
So my brother always was saying that maybe a super nice, like, secret-y kind of place to be, maybe like
Ooh,
South
secret.
Africa. Like, if
Mm.
stuff really starts to go down, like, that area seems to be kind of a safer place. But Australia, I think, too, seems to be kind of out of the way, right? It's just so far away from
Yeah.
everything that it's like,
South Africa. That's kind of suspicious.
why?
Wait, that Elon Musk's home, bro.
Yeah.
No, they don't have apartheid
That is true.
anymore.
Like, if Elon has some kind of base out of there, maybe it's not safe. Is his
Exactly.
evil lair, like, secretly in South Africa somewhere?
Exactly.
So I have heard that about Australia, that it's like so far off from everything that it's like, would the rest of the world, if like, if things start going down, like, do they even care about us, Australia? No, it's like,
Yeah.
is it even worth it to venture off over there? So maybe the Aussies are the place to go. Stake out in the outback
Maybe.
for a while. Really
Yeah,
put
exactly.
those YouTube shorts to the test about the creekside cooking.
Get the dingoes, kangaroos, and then you can go right to New Zealand if you're bored.
What's the
Malaysia,
time
you
difference?
got Asia.
Am I still going to be able to watch
I think they're a day
NBA?
ahead, day behind or something. Probably not.
But they do have good basketball in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, you would just have, if you just got super into the NBL, that could be super fun. I could see that.
Okay.
I could be an
Okay.
NBL fan.
NBL, that would be interesting.
Maybe LaMelo joins as well. Maybe he's back. Or was he in Australia? No, he was in Lithuania. Who's in NBL?
I just
Usman
think
Jang?
everything is just moving so fast, and not just with Trump and these orders, but just like science in general. Like today or earlier, a couple days ago, Microsoft announced that a new different state of matter that they're able to do with their quantum computing chip. Like they're saying it's not a gas, liquid, or solid. It's like a typo something. Like it's a whole different state of matter. Like it
Huh?
just breaks the basic law of science. It's like part of their Marijuana 1 or whatever. It's supposed to do like Marijuana 1 chip, quantum chip. And it's supposed to
Marijuana?
have
What are we saying?
Marijuana.
What are they smoking over there?
And they're saying that it runs on a new state of matter.
I think it sounds like these scientists got lit up.
I don't.
We've discovered a new state of matter,
It's
marijuana.
a topological superconductor, a material that isn't a solid, liquid, or a gas.
What are they doing with it? Is this what they're? Because I saw something about like
It's for a
quantum
computer
computing
chip.
with the. Was this what
Yeah.
the teleportation thing?
I'm not sure if it's teleportation, but it's supposed to be like quantum computing. So like pretty much it's like exponentially better than like our normal computing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to have qubits, like a million qubits or something. Anyway, it's supposed to like solve world hunger and all that, which of course it never will. It just makes some rich people even richer.
Wait, like we're gonna ask
lose
it how to
more
solve
money.
world hunger and it's gonna figure it out?
Apparently, but like little things like that, or I just open my phone and see like French scientists were able to replicate the power of the sun for 22 seconds.
I saw that as well
Like,
too.
I'm like, there's just crazy scientific breakthroughs going on right
Like,
now.
do we need to
like,
just keep a running tally of just every project that China's announcing right now? I'm just
well,
like,
and that's the thing is that these are the stuff that we do know about. These are the stuff that they want to tell us about. What are they doing on the low?
yeah,
You know?
it's like let's leak this so because like you're saying they want us to know about this. Like they want us to know that
Exactly.
they're going. Like, did you see the deep sea research facility that they're apparently trying to build? They're gonna like
Oh,
scour
what?
for. They're like they've commissioned now this research facility that they're literally gonna build. They're gonna build what they're referring to as like a space station on the bottom of the ocean, so they can just send scientists to live down there for months at a time and do research.
Oh, that's crazy.
Bottom of the ocean.
That's crazy. I just wonder about like the brain control and stuff that people have, or like the ones where they have, they're trying to do things where you can control stuff with your brain or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know like the internet was built because the military needed stuff, and the military is always, the point of trying to kill someone better
faster has always been the goal when these technological advances. So it's just always interesting to figure out how to use it. And it's the same way with like something I was reading really interesting today was about like U.S. aid, and even though it's cut, like the whole point of U.S. aid was to control developing countries.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't ever to really help poor people. It was like to control people, and so to get rid of it, like now you kind of have developing countries on the loose and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just interesting to see like just so much changing on a global scale. I feel like everything's moving so fast, and I don't know. It just feels like it just, I mean, us humans, we're always prone to fight each other and wars. We're about due for another big war. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't, I think we're going to be in for a war.
yeah, we're headed there. But I mean,
Yeah,
from a
yeah. Like you keep joking. You're like, yeah, we're done.
no, I mean that's what I'm saying. We've been headed there for
Yeah.
the last year and a half. But uh,
Damn.
the science thing is interesting, where it does feel like it does also feel like we're teetering from a breakthrough standpoint as well too on something maybe special, like the amount of sort of space exploration that's happening right now, and just kind of
Yeah.
how sort of with the satellites. And I was in the talk that you're saying about what could be on the future. I was hearing people say that if whenever the WW3 goes down, like it probably will involve some kind of space warfare as well too, which is like, what does that even look like? So is it like, are we waiting? Like honestly, the only when I heard that clip, the only thing that makes me think that we wouldn't go there is like the countries are maybe like we don't quite have the tech ready yet. Like if they're like we want
Yeah.
to go to space yet, but we just are not quite lined up, and then just waiting to go there. But it does feel like from a spacey, sciency sort of thing. Like of course we're always developing, but it does feel like with the way AI and stuff are turning up, like we are on the verge of another like checkpointy big breakthrough, because we've been teetering there with AI, but I don't think we've
Yeah.
quite had the discovery breakthrough yet. Like
No, no. Well,
it's
we're
been out
close.
there, but it's
Maybe if
close.
DeepSeek is real, or what's that whale one? Is that DeepSeek?
DeepSeek, yeah, you think DeepSeek's the moment? I mean,
If it's
ChatGPT was like
real,
the moment, like it was introduced to the culture, but the moment it becomes
yeah.
like the new way of life, like it's not necessarily, we're not like shifted into the AI age yet. I think we're still in the
I think
internet
we
age.
are.
I think we're
Everyone's
still in the
talking about
internet
AI.
age.
Everyone's trying to. Well, I think you
I think AI is
access
still like, for the
AI through the
masses, still like
internet.
a extension of the internet.
Yeah. No, I don't think AI can be a standalone thing yet until you get some hardware attached to it. And we haven't had any hardware attached to it yet. It's still,
Mm-hmm.
it's still just software.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that
until
exactly.
like they get, and there was I saw some videos of, like people starting to do human exoskeletons
Did you see the
of
one with the guy
robots
with
and
the
stuff.
muscles?
Yeah. And it's like, oh my gosh. We're
Does
just
YouTube, does Instagram have no videos, or do we just have the same algorithm? I don't know what it is.
I think we have the same algorithm, and YouTube has no videos. Like it's a
A little
combination
bit of
of
both,
both.
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's just I mean, like you're mentioning, like I think I was hearing today, like we have wealth inequality at the same level of French Revolution. You know how
Mm.
like big the gap is. Like it's just insane, and I mean, all the Starlink stuff is getting. We're starting to. You just see all these people switching to Starlink and stuff like that, and you just see Musk pulling all the strings. Getting all these companies to turn to him, and everyone knows what's going on. If you and me at home know what's going on, like
Yeah.
they up there, like obviously know what's going on, and no one's doing anything. No one cares. And the thing is that people who want to do something are caught by red tape, and then there's a lot of people who are mad that on the other side that they aren't able to enact their changes like Trump's able to. So they're kind of like jealous of him and wish they could do the same thing. So it's just, it's really tough to envision a non-war future. And I'm really interested to see how it kind of goes because it kind of feels like everyone's leaning the same way, which is really like really conservative, really, kind of rated really, anti immigration, all like anti basic principles and just a lot of hatred in it. There's no like kind of good versus bad. It's just kind of all bad right now.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like the general vibe is, and it's not even like there is like that patriotism, like national pride aspect to it, and then there's
Yeah.
like that sort of, like you're saying, sort of, vengeful sort of. I don't know if conquering is the right word, but that just sort of,
Yeah.
aggressive mindset that you get into the approach with the running stuff. And
I don't know.
yeah, like, because you're saying, like, if you're like, the whole point of the system is set up to where, like, if you need to make change, like, you can make change, and you can not make sure that one person has too much power, and there's checks and balances. But are we getting to a point where it's like, well, wait, where are the checks and balances? They're not.
Yeah, they're none.
They're not happening. And then if you can't check and balance through legislation, what else? What are
Yeah.
like, what
What's
else are we
going on?
doing?
Yeah, no one's stopping him. And then the courts are allowing him to fire people. Congress, he has Congress. Like, there's no one stopping him. All his people are getting um, put in powers of position, and then they're getting out everyone else. Like, even if they are Trump supporters, they're getting cut. I think there's like one IRS guy talking about, like, he was fired by, even though he voted for Trump and he was all in gun ho, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And my question is, if layoffs and firings are like common, like, where are all these people? What are all these people are doing? Like, how are they eating right now? Where is it? Like, we can't keep, there's no mass hirings happening, so for me personally, I just wonder, like, if I'm struggling with my decent job, I'm like making a decent living and I'm struggling, like, how are all these people who are getting laid off making ends meet right now? And, at what point are we just going to get like a massive amount of people who are just unemployed, no food, no nothing, and don't have any money? Because there's just so many companies. Like, there's no company I know that's like, yeah, we're expanding, like, we're doing a mass hiring. Like, oh, apply here now. It's always like mass cuts, mass firings, even if you're talented. I saw something today, like, I don't know if you've heard of Marvel Rivals, but it's like
Yeah,
the
I've
most
heard of it.
popular game right now, and they cut like almost the whole software team that developed it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a really, really good game. Like, it's not like they did anything wrong. And in the middle of it, they're still like, oh, we got to cut the team. Like, we got to cut these people who really put their heart and soul into it, even though they're bringing in so much money. And so it's crazy to see how many firings are happening, how many people are getting laid off, not just with the government, but in normal companies. And I just wonder where are all these people going, and, like, at what point do we just rise up as a nation? I don't know.
And I think to go like with the tech that you were saying as well too, like that'll be an interesting thing to see what happens with those developments, because when the internet age and the iPhones and all that stuff were developing, like the trickle down to the consumer was almost immediate. Like the iPhone was developed, and then like I'd have to go back and look at the timeline, but it's like this stuff was being developed for the consumer to use. And again, I'm sure the military has all this stuff like 5 years, 10 years ahead of time, but it seems like from
Yeah.
when we're getting the knowledge of it, it's then being introduced to the public. Whereas, like you're saying, like Starlink and some of this other stuff, it seems like it's being introduced, and it's like, well, is this stuff going to be, for the public, or is it going to continue to be like the richer are just going to have the technology, and like what's going to be the trickle down for that type of stuff? And then it's not like, are they going to be selfish and hold the technology? But like you're saying, is it that divide that continues to grow, and then what happens out of that? Is that just a representation of the wealth gap and the unrest that
Yeah.
happens if we see that, hey, look at how the technologies continue developing, but the masses maybe aren't reaping the benefits of it, or getting
Yeah.
it necessarily, to use in the day to day? Like you're saying, you're getting the software, and you're getting the, some of the cool innovations where it makes the internet cooler. But is it going to
Yeah.
be, how soon is this stuff going to be able to just like be developed? Is it being developed in that consumer type way where it can just be introduced to the masses, or is it going to continue, just is the divide just going to continue to widen, like you've been saying? I think it could be representative of that.
Yeah, and the I think it's also, some is being used as distractions as well. There's a lot of distractions out there. The White House, and I might be the president, the candidate, and the cabinet, and that might be included. But I remember reading a stat where it's like there are more sexual allegations in the White House than trans people out there. Like, it's
I
insane.
saw that as well.
It's
Yeah.
insane. I was like, that's insane. That's flat out crazy. I don't know if that stat's even real. I don't even know how to check that, but it sounds real. That might
But
be
the
the onion. Who
believability of
knows?
it is not good.
Yeah, the believability to have a convicted felon as a president is not good. But it's just a question of like how bad does it have to get before we do something? Like that's the question that I always have of like how much do people got to suffer before we do anything? And it's just one of those things where it's like if you as a citizen, maybe common everyday citizen, if you keep quiet about your neighbor getting screwed over, you keep quiet about, the person across the street getting screwed over, and they all keep getting screwed over, and then they're, don't have a voice. Who's gonna yell when you're getting screwed over? You know what I mean? And I just fear that people may be like, well, they're illegal or stuff like that. And even though 41% of the people who have been locked up by ICE don't have a criminal record, even if they are illegal immigrants. But it's just a question of like what is too far, and I don't know what's too far anymore. I don't know. And then Trump mentions, oh, I'm putting up statues of all these African American heroes, and it's like, all right, so you're just distracting, just trying to distract everyone. And I don't know. I thought people were smarter than that, but then again, we did vote him into office in the first place.
I know that's the problem. That's the thing at the end of the day where it's like, what is the mindset of the people going to be? Like you're saying,
Yeah.
where, I mean, you think people would look at it and go, okay, well, this is the way that power is supposed to be split up in the country, one amongst the government, and then like we're saying, between the government and the people, and then this is the way that it's going, and maybe we should keep it in this certain direction. But I don't know. Do you think are people just okay with it, or are they like just committed to the choice that they made, and then it becomes like now you've just got to validate the guy that you voted for?
Yeah.
Or is it like, or is it, people are like, no, we kind of voted for these things in a way.
I mean, I think people are like, oh, he's getting stuff done. So,
They're just seeing action.
Instead we're gonna, yeah. They don't recognize that's horrible action. And it's one of the things where we've been had a horrible education system for who knows how long. And now we're reaping the rewards of it. You have people who don't, you're just voting off of feelings and don't really understand what's going on. And I mean, if we had, if we didn't have uneducated, and if we didn't have uneducated, if we didn't have uneducated people vote, Kamala Harris would have won, And that's one of the things that also looking back, like Biden really messed up on was not having Kamala Harris go through the whole process, seeing if the Democrats even wanted to vote for her, which they probably wouldn't have. And I have a feeling Josh Shapiro would have been the guy, but I don't know. We'll see what.
It is kind of weird how it
in the
played
next
out
couple months.
at the end of the day, though, because to be honest, like, would any other candidate that they like, say they start a candidate from day one and run him against her, would any other candidate have done a better job than her at the end of the day? I know, again, the campaign,
I think so. Yeah.
The campaign wasn't the greatest, but
not in terms of like
would the end
a
result
better
have been
job
different?
of campaigning, but
would the end result
a better
have
job
been
of
different?
actually, yeah. I think it would have. Because I think America, unless it's a ridiculously good like politician like Obama, they won't put in a person of color, and they especially won't put a woman in office, and they won't never. But I mean, as the current, but they should, but as the current America has said, is there's just too much misogyny, I believe, and too much racism to put both a woman of color, and it shouldn't be that way. It definitely shouldn't. But I think when you have too many people talking and you like interview people, I don't think America. I don't think here in the States it would ever happen.
Do you think that
And I think the combination. What do they call it? Intersecting. I don't know. I messed up the word, but.
Do you think that changes at all? Like as.
Nah, I don't think it does.
Yeah, you don't think that even like as
so.
like our people our age get older and as we become that, middle-aged group, that.
Well, that's what people hope for, but we can vote now. we can't vote, and we're still in this because of, social media, and you have all the people getting I think I was seeing some articles talking about how like teens say it's cool to be MAGA, like not caring and just going, not caring about people's feelings and just going off of, just voting for what you feel like, and oh, it's cool to yell and have big trucks and flying your flags and stuff. You know, I don't know. That was the hope, but there's still races. It's still tough. It's still tough. We've turned redder than ever, and we are a voting age now.
I know
And I
it's.
think it's like our second or third cycle.
I don't know, but is it just like are we not turning out, or is it we just don't have the? Because that generation, like, what I would we need to pull up, like birth rate stats?
No,
Like, are there just more boomers?
No, I think it's harder for us ever to get a college education. And I think something that's interesting is that also men are getting less college educated than ever before. I think it's definitely less and less than previous generations. And, actually women are becoming more educated. But yeah, you have fewer men getting college educated, fewer people in general getting college educated because we just can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people who are getting the education are getting horrible educations. Like they're just it's the quality has gone downhill. Like it's just bad. And then you see places like where it's all for profit, things like that. There's so many other ways to make money, or pretend you make money or potentially make money online, social media, all that. People try to be an influencer, and you see people living later and later with their parents. I think that like the average age is late 20s, maybe into your 30s. And not trying to hate on URM. I know people are figuring it out, but it's a reality that more and more people are living with their parents, or and it's because it's impossible to own a home. It's impossible to pay for stuff, and so it makes a lot of people feel hopeless. Because you're like, why am I not doing better? Why can't I live up to my parents' standards? And that's the thing is that like, and that's the problem I've noticed a lot that people are saying with the Democrats is you don't want to generalize people, but you do want to speak to the majority of people.
Mm-hmm.
And people are pretty simple. Like we kind of know how most people are living life, and like most people, they are in a family. They are like college is really expensive. Stuff is like really expensive, and it's really hard to make, to buy groceries. And like, yes, we do need to advocate for minorities. We do need to advocate for those areas, but we can't just focus on the minorities unless the majority is going to feel forgotten. And that was the problem that the Democrats had with the last election. And yeah, in their plan that she printed out, like it was actually really well explained how she would help the majority, but Kamala Harris didn't really talk about it enough. I feel like, while Trump was like, "Oh yeah, we're bringing down groceries, we're blah blah blah, we're getting out immigrants, blah blah blah." So it was just more of talking about those points and made people feel safer, but it's just there's not, yeah, like I was mentioning, it's just you can't forget about the most Americans, and most Americans can't afford anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
And most Americans are or either they're struggling to make ends meet. I think credit card debt is at a new high this year. And so, you kind of got to talk about groceries, and you kind of got to talk about, how are we making America easier to live for the people who are already here, and, kicking out illegal immigrants who are actual criminals is, yeah, that's a great idea. I'm in full favor of that. Like, if you're here illegally and you're committing a crime,
And
like,
you're committing crimes. It's
yeah,
one thing.
yeah. And one actually interesting argument I saw was about the birthright citizenship. This was the one where I was like, oh, I might get canceled here. So there was an interesting argument about like Trump
Let's
was
see,
saying
Chad. Do we
taking
cancel him?
they're talking about how Trump was talking about taking the birthright citizenship away from illegal immigrants who had kids here. And the main point is that actually in the letter of the law, it talks about like there like the way the law has been explained out is that even if it's more of not actually being on the actual land, but being in allegiance or servitude to the laws of the nation. So, like, if you're an American and you get born out in sea, but you're like in an American vessel or something, then you're considered an American citizen. Or if you're like an invading army that has taken land and you're born in America, you're not considered an American citizen because you're
Mm-hmm.
not
under an American allegiance. And so if you're an illegal immigrant who's coming in here illegally, not following the U.S. rules, and then you have a kid, like that doesn't make that kid an American. That's why when I was like, well, this actually kind of makes sense. I don't know, Rem. What do you think? Throwing you kind of on the spot here. What do you think?
I think it's like you're saying, it's always tough to make sweeping generalizations, but I mean, I think the common sense thing should always be to try to make sure to help good people, and
Yeah.
helping good people is a part of that is, potentially gonna be separating maybe potential threat or whatever, however, whatever the proper term for that is, because you want to be sensitive for somebody's situation as well too. Like, we understand that the reason why somebody might not be a criminal, but there's there's also the extreme cases where it's like, there's all, it's like we're saying,
Yeah.
it's you can't speak in generalizations, and then but you get what we're saying. But like, I'm in general, if there's a good person that is just trying to find opportunity, find a good way of life, trying to find a job and try to get in this country, like, we should be trying to help that person. And if there's somebody that's being a criminal, like, we should handle a criminal in the proper way, that we should be justifying a system and be handing out punishments. And if that is the proper jailing in our own country, or if that's making sure that they're sent to justice in their own country, like, whatever that be. But
Yeah.
it should
Or that's why they're reopening Guantanamo Bay to keep them out, but in jail. Still.
yeah, I
I don't
did
know.
see
I
that.
guess the main point from the other side that I kind of understood, like I saw where they're coming from, was like, yes, while we want to, accept any good people and want to help as many good people as we can, we still need to help the people who are already here. And I feel like we do have a responsibility to the people who are already here and are here legally, or people who come over legally, instead of just the people who are illegally. And while it may not be the majority who are just coming for the services, like many are. And so that was the one where I was like, okay, like, and I do think it was an issue during the Biden administration of like way too many illegal immigrations. I mean, it shot up like crazy, and it has gone down with Trump being in office, and that's the only thing I think Trump has really done well. But it is, so that's why I bring it up as like a thing that, like, I don't want to say like nothing at all has been good. Like, I do think it is good that illegal immigration has gone down. I do like that it's cracked down. I mean, I do think it has. We should make it easier for people to become citizens, but I do think that we do honestly need to look at like our government services and be like, do we need to make sure we have enough for people who are here in America?
Yeah.
And while illegal immigrants do bring a lot to the economy still, and I mean, it is interesting to see some farmers who are like, yeah, I voted for Trump, but if they lock up illegal immigrants here, like, I gotta shut down my place, or not just farms, but
Yeah.
other areas like businesses.
We just lose all of those chefs in America. Every kitchen staff employees just taken out somewhere.
Get us canceled.
It's a compliment, man. They're holding us down.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I do, obviously DEI and all that, that's having its own ripple effects. We got obviously anti that, but
yeah,
it is interesting. I don't know. And I think it's just time before it touches every corner of America, like the things he's doing. And like, of course it's fun to dig our head in the sand and ignore it all, but I don't know. I don't know where it ends. It's only been a month, Rem. Like we said, it's only been a month. He's going to be there hopefully only 4 years. Who knows? We already got people talking about extending term limits, talking about celebrating his birthday. Like, I don't know. I'm wondering how far becoming a dictator are people like, okay, this is like
before
this
it
is
turns.
crazy.
I know, and then it becomes
All right,
like that just becomes a scary path when the American people have to like rally together,
Yeah.
Like that's a real decision.
What would it take?
That is a choice that has to be made. I guess, what would it be? I'm not smart enough to give you like what would actually be the one legislative like turning point where you're like, oh, if he does this, then the ripple effects of it, or he just this is the last Infinity Stone and he unlocks like unlimitless power. But from a public standpoint, like what could he say? Like what was that monarchy quote that he said? Do you have that quote?
It was on Truth Social. It was like him talking, celebrating something, and then he said, "Long live the king." It was because Times Square apparently or something put Time magazine did a picture of him with the crown. Also, while
That's
homie
crazy.
was Trump was celebrating Black History Month and had the statues and everything, um, he had also the USDA suspend scholarship programs at historically black colleges. Um, so he suspended scholarships at 18 HBCUs. Attacking that education. Like we said, that's how you do it. That's how you stay in power. You control the education. You control the pockets.
Like, what would he?
It's tough.
Like, what do you think he would have to say? It would have to be something that he said to the American people, where they're like, "Whoa."
What hasn't he said?
But you know what? But to the whites.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like, do you think he's in trouble if he says the N word?
Oh, man, you think the people that
Like,
voted for him would get upset at him?
I don't think so.
I
I
don't
think
think they
it
would
just.
either.
I don't.
We could probably pull up a clip. Honestly, I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to dig up.
Yeah, it was about the congestion pricing in New York because he wanted to do it because the all the congestion and they were gonna start charging people in the city, and then he was pretty much saying that they wouldn't be allowed to do it on federal roads, but technically in the city it's not a federal road, so they're still technically charging it. It's like the thing where Trump keeps trying to have like these moral victories where people just keep doing what they're already doing. Like,
Yeah.
Canada just reiterates, their same promises that they're already going to do, and they get rid of the tariffs, some stuff like. But this was like congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king. That's what he posted on his Truth Social. So,
I feel like
you
that's
know,
pretty close. The problem is the people that voted for him. They're almost not.
well, yeah,
See,
let's go.
that's the scary thing is they're not voting for policy in a way, because you could see the world where the policy would get extreme. They're voting for a person, and that has been the way that that's not uncommon in politics, but it just seems like the cult around this is so much stronger, where again they would have to turn on the person in a way that if you're able to talk yourself into him at this point, like you're saying, like, what are the moves?
Yeah.
Make
I don't
everybody
know.
drive an
It's
electric car?
what, Tesla? I know Tesla sales are
Yeah, if he
struggling
just
right now.
mandates
It's
Tesla to everybody, then people would get maybe
maybe,
uproar.
maybe. I don't
Trump
know. I
supporters
just
would
think
not
he
like an
he
electric
just
car.
gives decrees right now on all executive orders that he's literally not able to do, and no one stops him. It's literally not like they're literally legal. Like his orders are legal. Everyone knows they're legal, and they're just keep on chugging. He just keeps on chugging. I don't know.
So yeah, you're saying if he's already, I mean, and this has been the cycle the whole time, but if he's already doing crazy things and saying crazy things, like, what else is there left to be done for, like, the opinions
I
of the
don't
people are
know.
what they are, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do think there's definitely. I think the prices not going down has definitely started turning some people. I think
Maybe an
early
attack.
on that helicopter crashing and him blaming DEI was a really bad look.
But I think that
Um,
people have kind of, I don't think people are, I don't know if people talk about that anymore. Like, it's been so crazy
yeah,
since
not
then that, like,
anymore. But I think
why
the
don't people
price is
care
not
about
going
that?
down in terms of gas, and then now even more eggs being gone
But the problem is
for
it's
some
also
reason.
bird flu as well too. That's not like that's not
Yeah, but
legislation.
then you also have people who are accidentally fired. You were studying the bird flu. I think there's definitely less communication going out about the bird flu. So,
That's
it's easy to
very
be
true.
like the
That's true.
government is hiding about it, because they're literally told not to. So I think no eggs being available because of the bird flu, and then no communication coming out of it. At least last time, Trump was fighting with Fauci, but there's Fauci, there's something.
We had the
Now
voice Fauci.
now he's gone, and there's literally no one, and people don't know what's going on, and now we have Trump, you know, taking people's, family members and, community members and stuff. And yeah, I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
crazy. I mean, people say they want us to run like a business. Like, it kind of doesn't feel like we have a government anymore. It kind of feels like we have a
Yeah.
chairman and a board, and
Yeah, it does.
Feels like we're kind
We
of
got
just
the vice chair, calling Elon Musk.
yeah. League of Shadows board operating everything.
Yeah.
It's corporate America. Is he going to change Gulf of America and the United States of America Incorporated? U.S.
Wouldn't
Inc.
be surprised. Trump
U.S.
Inc.
Inc.
U.S. Inc. is hilarious.
U.S. Co.
U.S. Co. I don't know something.
Something
It's
along
just
those
corporations have taken over. Even Biden said it right before he left.
lines. I know it was like a weirdly poignant thing that he said. I was like, it's like a moment. It's
Oligarchy.
like the Eisenhower speech where we look back and we're like, Eisenhower giving us knowledge about the industrial war complex. We're gonna look back in history and be
Exactly.
like, somehow Biden was giving us knowledge
Biden was
about
right. He finally could talk. He was freed
the
by the
problem that
Illuminati.
the problem that was actually like, if I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on, that's like scary about
Oh,
that
oh,
is
do it, please.
like we know that Biden is operating with a certain level of like cognitive difficulty with how he operates right now. So if the
Yeah.
people are prepping this speech for him, it's because they're on the inside and they kind of know what's happening already. Like they're not saying this because they know it's like coming. They're saying it because they know it's like there. And they're like, we're just telling you now because it doesn't matter. We've lost. Like, this is how I guess we get back on track for the future. But it's like they know because they're literally inside and operating. It's not like Biden is stepping up and giving us this outside observation and like, I'm going rogue. I'm telling the American people what's actually going on. It's like, no, the people that are on the inside are like literally giving us the information about how America is. Oh, we can see this happening. The oligarchy, the corporate structure, all this stuff.
No, I don't even know, man. Like, and then you see the whole people standing in front of the cabinet, or like all the Google people, and it's really interesting how Google is going with all the things that Trump are saying. They're not going to stop him.
No, like
I don't know.
Like you're saying, all the the big corporations right now. I mean, who does he have? It seems like he's got obviously Tesla, Starlink, SpaceX, those guys, Zuckerberg. So he's got the Facebook Meta crew. I don't know. Is the Bezos like been like in the board? Is he like on the islands and at Mar-a-Lago with Trump the way Zuckerberg and Musk is? I don't know if we've had a Bezos picture that way. They may be in Florida at the same time, but I don't know if they're just hanging out at the same house. But yeah, he's got the Google people as well too, like you're saying. But Google's gonna need him.
I think I saw he was 15 days. It's been like 30 days in office and 15 of them in Florida.
Move the White House to Miami. I think Google's gonna need him though, because Russia fined Google like 18,000 quadrillion $1,000,000. They fined him like more money than has ever existed because of some like.
Yeah, I saw that more money than Russia ever. Yeah, it's like, how do you find someone more money than ever existed? Like
the compounding interest, man, it really stacks up. So Google is like, they actually need Trump to cut that fine a little bit in half for him. I don't know how he's gonna manage to do that, but yeah, I mean, it's like he's saying with the mindset of the American
just stopped operating in Russia. Yeah.
The mindset of the American people is going to be the interesting thing to watch, because for one, we know that, like we're saying, it's almost like, is everybody thinking the same thing because they voted for him? But then, like you're saying, the effects of it are going to be what they are the minds going to change?
Well, and I know it's like more fun to talk about like the Drake album or like sports and stuff, but like this is something that I feel like is quickly becoming a like everyone problem, like the fate of the world type stuff. And I don't know. I really am worried about where it all ends, and I don't know where it ends. I really don't know.
No, I don't know either. Unfortunately, I wish I could look at it with more silver linings, but
More silver.
I think I'm more pessimistic than you. I've been
Oh, you're more pessimistic.
Depressed and nervous for a year about it. So.
Oh, geez.
Sorry, Chad, but it is what it is.
Well,
I mean,
it is what it
lock
is.
it in. It's in the books.
Well, I guess, yeah, we're done talking about that. Something else that was depressing was that last Drake album. I don't know. Were there any songs on there that you liked at all? Some people were liking, I don't know, making fun of the Spanish songs.
Obviously not. It's not like his highest quality project, but I think for what it is, it's not. I don't know if I could look at that and go, Drake fell off in a way. Like, I think when he went into his rapping bag, he gave us a good rapping performance. He gets silly with some of these beats, but I got to be honest, like, The Spanish beat and the Nokia beat, I kind of liked. I think they both
I
slap.
know.
The
I
Spanish song is
know.
good, man. I don't know what to tell you. I
I
like that
know.
song.
People are hating on it now, but give it like I was joking earlier today. Like, give it a couple weeks. People are gonna be like, you know what hits, you know?
No, that song is great. And Nokia, I mean, that song, I'm
Yeah.
you're telling me you're not
The key is
dancing to that
good.
song when it's on. Like, it's just
I
what it
don't
is.
know. I wasn't a fan
Get
of
a little
any of
shimmy.
them really, like Drake levels,
No, like, are
but
these songs that are going to be
in
like in
general
my
song.
rotation? But they're good songs.
No.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
they're
they're
trash
okay.
songs.
Yeah, who knows? Any music coming up that we gotta keep an eye on or anything really?
Oh man, I'd have to go in and look. I swear I thought Roddy Ricch was dropping an album today, but I just got that
Mm.
wrong. Apparently he moved that date back to April. So, Nardo Wick dropped an album today. Haven't got a chance
Oh,
to
did he
listen to
really?
that. And then our guy Joey Badass dropped a little 3-song EP on Spotify as well too. He had been dropping some of those, diss tracks, sparring tracks
Nardo.
on YouTube, and he finally got those on streaming services as well. So, Ruler's Back, gotta be one of my favorite tracks of the year. Finally happy that we're able to get this on streaming and junk this track. But are you more pessimistic about the Drake album because of your Drake fandom, or is it more just like hurt feelings?
No, it's not hurt feelings. It's definitely because the album.
It's just because like it's R&B.
Like I was just thinking, like, at least even what was it? Honestly, Nevermind had Jimmy Crooks. Like this one didn't really have
You don't like Give Me a Hug?
anything special.
Give Me a Hug's pretty good.
Let me check.
Give Me a Hug's a slap. Small Town Fame's not bad either, as like a rapping performance song. And the other song that I kind of like that's more like a normal song, not a funky Spanish or ringtone beat, is the Die Trying song on there is really good as well too. He's singing on that track, and it's not like super auto-tuney edited up and stuff. So
Man,
it's just like
you really
a little more raw vocals.
died trying. We gotta get Drake on explaining these songs. Yeah, Die Trying, they were okay. I think they were both sing-songy. Like they're okay, but I need, I'm gonna mess someone up, Drake.
Wait, throw on Give Me a Hug though. That gets back into his he's dropping bars on
Yeah,
that.
I heard a little. I think I heard like the second half of the song or something.
You don't like that
Give Me a
R&B
Hug.
sample though? For that production?
It was all right. He's definitely done better. Drake.
Sing a joyful song.
Oh,
I guess we got
oh.
that gospel production in the front and then that R&B production in the second half of the song. That is honestly a crazy beat. I love that beat. That Give Me a Hug production is great.
Yeah.
But how much R&B do you listen to?
I've listened to a lot more lately, because of my.
I was gonna say I could
Fiance,
see
so
Naya getting you into
Definitely
some
a lot
R&B,
more.
but-
Yeah. She's definitely schooled me on some
like,
songs.
What is she schooling you on? What's been in the rotation?
I don't know the actual name, but
Well,
I know
just sing the songs, and then the chat can tell you.
The chat can tell you. What was it like? Soon as I get home.
Wait, no, like you don't know who these artists are?
Let me see here. I'll pull up the playlist. Saba, Solange.
Saba, okay,
Okay, you got her in here. SZA, of course.
absolutely.
Neo, Usher,
Yeah.
Ashanti.
Yeah?
Yeah, Lauryn Hill. Yeah.
Oh,
Destiny's Child, of course.
yeah, Sam, you need to be throwing this playlist on, brother. This is an awesome playlist.
Brandy. Yeah, Cassie. Yeah. Yeah. No, this is a special one. What do you mean? Old Mariah Carey.
There's not a side of you that likes
Really,
that
Gene-
chill side. You don't
No,
find
I
as you
like-
get older, like you don't like maybe try to find a different. Like it's not that the
No,
the aux songs aren't
I
great. I'm
do
just
like
saying.
chill, but I think certain artists are good at it, and I don't think it's quite his thing.
Well, Drake,
Like Drake has some good
well,
chill songs, but it's not as great,
Well, that's not true at all. Drake's one of the great R&B hip hop guys of all time. It's just that this album is maybe a little bit of a different thing. But I mean, the peak Drake R&B moments
Yeah.
of his past are maybe some of the best of again any hip
Yeah,
hop
I
guy out there.
know.
Feel No Ways, Marvin's Room,
Exactly.
Jungle.
Yeah, Marvin's Room, yeah.
I mean, Feel No Ways. What are we talking about here? Come on, Chad.
Yeah, I don't know.
That song is crazy.
This album just wasn't resonating with me.
No, I can see it not sticking, because especially like you get to this point in his career and it's like, what is he adding into his discography in this way
Exactly.
that you need from him? Like, is anything gonna hit the same way? But
Yeah.
again, like in terms of his just individual song making quality, I don't know if he's like fallen off in a major way. And
Yeah.
well, anyways, what was I saying about the songs?
R&B is good.
R&B,
He's good at
yeah.
R&B.
Yeah. You need a like 90s R&B, modern. Like, is there a sound that you like? Are there R&B songs that you like? Like, let's do a little algorithm check. Like, what are some songs that you like?
There's not ones. They're not on my main playlist. Like, I'm not an R&B guy-ish. I'm not great at splitting songs into genres, though.
But just in
But
general,
yeah,
like,
mostly rap.
so like if you're going chill, like, what's a chill song that you would go for? Say in a setting that you would need to play some R&B. What would you play?
Well, probably one of the artists I mentioned earlier, like that playlist.
So you just pull up like,
like
SZA
Ashanti.
and just
Yeah, probably
throw some
SZA. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't ever listen to like, I guess I don't see. Do you need to start
Like
like
who?
getting Lauryn Hill in your rotation and people like this? Like, obviously you should, she's a
Lauryn
legend.
Hill.
But
Yeah, she is a legend.
then again, like, if you're into more of the trap scene, like I'm not gonna like, say that you need to switch your musical taste. But if it's like, are you ever, tapping into that R&B side? It's just make sure you just got to make sure that you're getting those songs at least into the rotation a little bit,
Yeah.
At least just being aware and checking out some new music. At nighttime, just throw on like a 90s R&B album and just listen to it once through, and then you never have to listen to it again. The songs that you like, maybe something stuck out right away. Like, just be super harsh with it. If nothing like really jumped out, then it is what it is. But
yeah, I don't think it's bad music. It's just, I definitely know my lane, and it's not something I boast about. Like, oh, this is great, but it's definitely. I think the lane is definitely, some rap, probably a little bit more rap, maybe some hip hop.
No, but R&B
yeah,
is hip hop.
definitely
I feel like this all falls into the same thing. I feel like it's just
yeah, that's where
where's
I'm
the
like, it
sun
all
at in the
intersects
sky,
into each other. So
What are you
that's why I don't
listening to
even
at
put it into
nighttime?
RG.
Are we throwing Yeet on to wind down?
Yeah. It's no. I probably listen to a podcast. Honestly, I listen to podcasts a lot.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
And I guess as a Drake guy, you do have the Drake bag. You can always just go into.
Yeah.
Does Boss Man D-Lo have some melodic cuts that I'm not remembering?
Yeah. No, I don't usually listen to like.
Good for the late night.
Yeah, usually late at night I don't listen to music.
That's right. We've
Not
talked about
really.
this though. You're you're
Yeah.
not like a music all day kind of guy like I am. Where
No.
I'm soundtracking my day. So there's like R&B sections of the day, and there's aux sections of the day, and the good morning wake. Like, what about the morning? You don't have like a good morning. I got to get the day going. Let me throw on some music.
No, I usually just actually use music just to hype me up, honestly, or like, hype up a little bit. Usually it's an energy kind of thing. I don't know. I don't listen to much music to chill. There's definitely like,
If I do, it'll probably be like those rap songs that I do listen to, but slowed and reverbed on like YouTube.
Okay.
Or like instrumentals or something.
Ooh.
Yeah,
fair.
that's usually what I do. Like slowed and reverb. So like Yeet, but like slow to reverb, or let me see if I can pull up my playlist. That's what I used to listen to.
Is Yeet still up in the top of the rotation right now?
Yeah, I mean he's still like some of the oldest songs of my liked songs, because just because what he makes now is trash doesn't mean the past is.
Well, no, you
not
still don't
any
like
good.
the songs that you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you were trying to like, because for me this year, I think I'm trying to mix it up a little bit with the J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Jay-Z. So my top 5 for like, for forever has just been like J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Jay-Z, and Kanye, just like those guys from the 2010s. But it's been that just, I'm trying to like get just a little bit of a different top 5. I've seen that top 5 for like 3 or 4 years in a row now, and
Yeah,
I'm making
on
like a
Spotify,
conceited
yeah.
effort to. The problem is, like, I was just bumping
Conceded.
Jay-Z again today. Like, you know,
Yeah.
J. Cole, Kendrick, of course, is going to be the number one artist. Like, 3 of these guys are going to continue to be in my top 5. It's just what it is. But I didn't know if we were, like, getting into...
No, I'm definitely happy for some year of what's his face, Central C.
Oh, Central C. Yeah, that's a big...
Yeah.
Is that a big... is that, like, the newest guy that's cracked your rotation in a major way?
Yeah.
He would have to be.
Central
Yeah.
C is the one.
Wow, so he's your next up guy that you've got stock in?
Yeah. Yeah, we're all in.
Big X a plug versus Central C.
Nah,
Who will win the Grammy first,
I
chat?
haven't really listened to Big X the Plug lately. I don't know.
Big X the plug.
I know you're big into him.
Yeah, I am. He doesn't... I feel like he's a little not quite as full-on, like, trappy as the way Central C is.
Yeah.
So I can see you maybe not quite dipping your toes. I could see you, like, maybe liking some Big X songs versus listening
Yeah.
to, like, full projects.
No, I'm not like a full Big X.
Yeah, lot to take in with Big X the plug. But, you know, Central C doing the drill rap, that's definitely in that lane for sure. And he's definitely at the, like you're saying, he's at the top of it right now. And I was looking at the, you know, I've been tracking a lot of the streaming numbers with Kendrick and his albums as of late. But if you just look at the hip hop albums in general, you know, outside of what Kendrick is doing, on a daily basis right now, Central C is, I want to say his album, it's not in the top 5 because Kendrick is like 4 of the top 5 albums right now. But if you go for hip hop albums, daily streaming numbers, like non-Kendrick, like he's one of the 5 guys outside of him that are, you know, really dominating in the daily streams right now. So that album is really proving itself to be successful, and he is definitely emerging as a major star. And I'm trying to
Who is?
Central C.
Yeah, no, he is. He is.
So yeah, if you look at the daily streams right now on Spotify, you've got Kendrick at 1 with GNX, Tyler at 2 with Chromacopia, Kendrick at 3 with Damn, Bad Bunny at 4, Good Kid, Mad City at 5, Utopia 6, Graduation 7, and then Central C, Can't Rush Greatness at 8.
Wow.
One
Top
spot
10.
ahead of Dr. Dre 2001 at 9. So I mean, do we need to go through that list again? I mean, we got GNX on here, Good Kid, Mad City, Utopia, Graduation 2001, and Can't Rush Greatness. People are bumping this album.
Tough. It's tough.
Central C, he's here, chat.
Drake is definitely down a million right now.
Drake's got the total, because he's got views at 17, he's got Take Care at 18, he's got, you know, if you go to the next page, he's got 4 or 5 in the top 20 where the totality of it all adds up. For All the Dogs.
Also,
is
shout out
26.
Luka Garza. Looks like he's playing regular minutes right now against the Rockets. Really random. Sorry. Keep going.
No, shout out Luka Garza, man. Anytime. We love Luka Garza. Pro Luka Garza pod. Maybe some might even say the number 1.
Oh.
Number 1 Luka
Top
Garza.
Luka Garza pod. I don't know another one.
Some people might say it, especially once we stay tuned, chat. Subscribe, Luka Garza. You never know, the Luka Garza interview this summer.
2025 is our year.
Summer 2028. Lock it in. Luka Garza joining the show. Subscribe now just to get ahead of it.
Just get ahead of it.
Just to be.
He's definitely lost weight, which is good.
Just to be on top. Is he looking thin? Does Luka need to get on? Which Luka needs to lose weight, chat? Doncic or Garza?
I remember someone said they saw the Luka trade and thought it was Garza.
For Davis?
Was it someone on the Suns or something? Yeah, no, I didn't think it was Doncic.
No, hey, chat. Look at it now, though. Maybe the Mavs won the trade. I will say, though, I feel like now I have to step back in after defending Davis. I feel like I have to step back in and defend Doncic after people are, like, criticizing Doncic for the slow start. I mean, obviously, his numbers are down, but it's like, if you watch the game against Charlotte, he was kind of just missing shots. Like, he was still kind of getting to his spots on the court. He was never, like...
Yeah, it didn't look like he was really playing horrid.
Yeah, and he's obviously never been, like, the most in-shape guy, so it's not like speed and getting downhill or, you know, how he's been playing the game, and it's not like he's able to turn the corner in the same way and blah, blah, blah. Like, he's still able to bully a guy and back a guy down, turn around, hit a jump shot. He was just missing shots, and to be honest, like, maybe the way he was missing was more, like, it was kind of a lot of it short, and a lot of the stuff around the rim wasn't going in, where it's like, is the elevation almost in the explosiveness. Like he can't get off the floor in the same way. He doesn't have the same kind of lift. But again, with Doncic, like he's such a crafty basketball player that he can still get to his spots if he's hitting his shots. Like he can still be fine. So Lakers fans need to like. Now we're back on it where it's like Lakers fans. It's okay. You do have Luka Doncic. Like you don't need to panic too much. But the Max Christie versus Luka Doncic numbers are tough. Max Christie is scoring more points.
Do you think there are long-term concerns with Doncic on the Lakers?
I don't think so, no. But I mean, it goes back to what we were saying, like with the trade. Davis is a great player. Doncic is a great player. But you know, again, they didn't trade Doncic because he wasn't a great player. They traded Doncic because of mindset things and because of play style things. Like they traded him because he couldn't play defense and he's out of shape. They didn't trade him because he was bad at basketball.
Exactly.
So
exactly, but it's whether he gets in shape. I know there's people talking about, oh well, he's with LeBron, so
yeah, but I mean, you can kind of see he does look a little pudgy as well too. Like he looks a little he looks a little doughy. It is what it is. But
yes, it is.
I think even if he was doughy going forward, like he can still figure out how to play as a doughy guy. He's just dialing that shot. But
Doughy Donnie.
But I've
Doughy
also
Donnie.
maybe been the one guy out there that's like, I'll put Luka like 5 or 6 on a power ranking versus everybody just has him locked in as like the second best player in the league.
Yeah.
So this is still kind of all in that range for Luka to me, where it's not totally shocking. Like I could, like, Luka's a guy where he needs to be cooking on because he can't play defense. You know, he needs to be the best offensive player in the league for him to be the best player in the league. And if he's not the best offensive player in the league, then that really can fall down in a way where you're not getting that defensive side to elevate his game, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, I gotta go. But it's good seeing you. Chiefs will return. We'll try. We'll start the three-peat march again.
They'll be back stronger than ever.
Hopefully I'll be alive to see it. So
Sam will be. Can we get Sam a TV in Greenland?
There you go.
That's all we need.
They watch the NFL in Australia? Can you get the games?
Wait, so
how early on Sunday do I need to get up?
Are you volunteering as Tribune so you can watch Mahomes overseas?
Hey, raise their numbers. I know they're the most. I think the most non-American fans are in Germany, and I know the biggest fan base there is the Chiefs. So, Chiefs are popular overseas.
Wow, Sam gets saved by just some random guy that's like, I saw you in a Chiefs jersey. I love Travis Kelce.
Exactly.
Save Sam's life.
Exactly.
It is what it is. But
good seeing you. Good seeing you. Yeah, I'll make sure to keep an eye on the streams. We might pop up every now and then. Frisbee heating up. UFA around the corner. Who knows?
Yeah, you know we got to get our Frisbee check-ins for sure.
You know, it's about to play against some high schoolers this week, so we're getting some reps in again.
Oh, he's gonna cook them.
I don't know about the coaching, but we'll see.
He's gonna cook them,
Chad. Some teams. Cooking. We'll see, or maybe they'll cook me. I don't know. We're gonna see. All right.
If we get highlights, we know what happened.
All right. Good seeing
Later.
you. Bye.
The one and the only chat, the great Sam. It is what it is. There is no, of course, Reverend Sam without Sam. So we appreciate it. It is getting late here, of course, in the Midwest as well, too. So probably about time to just wrap up the pod in general. But make no mistake, people, we're not going anywhere. We will be back this weekend. We've got some big episodes lined up as well, too. Like I said, I thought there was going to be a Roddy Ricch album tonight react. What? Can somebody tell me what happened? It's more, I shout out, I'm waiting for the Roddy Ricch album as well, too. But it's more just like I saw it and thought it was going to be today. And then was like looking at it like, oh, it's just more, I guess I was wrong, chat, and just have to come to terms with being wrong. It's just what it is. So we'll have to wait for that. But what, Playboy Cardi started popping billboards up for LA for his stuff. So it's just the cycle of Playboy Cardi. We start every year with him teasing music, and then by the end of the year, he's not even dropping it. So shout out to the Playboy Cardi fans for being teased this long. If you guys still care about the album, you guys really, really, I mean, he doesn't even deserve you guys at this point. You guys are too good of fans. It's staying this locked in. It is what it is. Whole Lot of Red was 2020, turn of the decade, chat, post-COVID. I mean, we haven't even heard from Playboy Cardi outside of features, or I guess I said post-COVID, pre-COVID. We haven't heard of album post-COVID. it's just what it is, chat. But yeah, we'll be back this Sunday. We'll be back regular schedule throughout the week as well too, chat. So, like I said, subscribe. You guys, Sam will be popping in. You never know. It's just like a jackpot, chat. You just never know which night it's going to be. So the only way to find out is to subscribe. It's like, which seat is the ticket under the winning ticket? It's like, well, you just got to keep showing up to events. You got to buy raffle tickets, chat. The only way you get a Sam appearance, you got to subscribe and just keep watching. It's just what it is. Is that our marketing method? Is just Sam is just, we sprinkle Sam in there like every couple episodes. It's just, Where's Waldo Sam edition. But yeah, subscribe to the feed, subscribe to the podcast feeds as well too. If you guys, are not using YouTube Premium, if you want to stick us in the earbuds in the background, maybe we got the Spotify, the Apple, it's all out there on the short form as well too, Instagram and TikTok, I guess, as well as it continues to put along. So we'll see. Actually, real quick, San Antonio, we lost them in the third quarter. Disastrous second halves tonight for Michigan and for the Spurs. It's just what it is, chat. We lost 38-18 in the third quarter there. But Fox had 27. Okay, Fox, I won't trade you. Traded him 20 minutes into the pod tonight. It's just what it is. Sometimes you get on the trade machine, you just get having too much fun. But it's nothing against Fox. It's just, again, he's only been on the team for like a month. So I love having Fox there, and I'm not trying to trade him that soon as well, too. Like, Fox is a great addition to the team. But, some of these guys have been part of the process, been through the ups and downs. Vassell, Sohan, Keldon Johnson. It's like this is like the young core of the guys that have been there the whole time. So the emotional attachment at this point, it's time spent, chat. It's been a little longer to develop. It's what it is. But, yeah, this is like Sam said, Tobias Harris, basically perfect from the field, 8 for 10. Same with Duren. Duren, of course, dunking it, but 10 for 14. Cade, 10 for 15. His audition for the Spurs? Now, that's a trade that some names were going to be in. Ooh, now we'd start having an affair with some of these guys for Cade Cunningham. It's just what it is, chat. But like I said, we'll be back Sunday. Big episode this weekend, so stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a good time. And